pretty much ready. Just need the camera to kick in and also to sort out the camera settings. Alright, just go boop over to there, and bring in the sound. And also grab the YouTube chat. Content, live. Why am I getting no sound from the game? What is that? YouTube. I think I've also got my headset turned right down. Yes, I do. That would be part of the reason. There we go. There's the music. Okay. Things are kicking in. And let's grab YouTube chat. Put that down there. Awesome. So, hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Crusader Kings 3, where we are playing as Chieftess Bjorg Spednesdottir of the Viking Mordvinian, who are Viking nomads. We are currently in the Russian steppe. We are, if I remember correctly, right around the Urals. Yeah, we're just on the left of the Ural Mountains. The left being the west. But our plan is basically to try and go up into the more mountainous areas, kind of, not mountainous, forested, kind of in this area where I'm boxing at the moment, and then ultimately end up over here. This is our ultimate objective because it's nice and forested, has big rivers. It kind of feels like Russian Scandinavia, and I think that would be quite good for us to settle in. So we are currently playing as steppe nomads, as I mentioned. We have an interesting army, a mixture of horse archers and huskarls. At the moment, emphasizing the horse archers a bit more because we are actually in the steppe. Yes, I did bring in YouTube. YouTube is here. Hi, YouTube. So yeah, we are currently focusing more on the horse archers because we are in the steppe, but as we progress north into the forests, we'll probably be starting to emphasize the huskarls a bit more. But I do like the fact that we're kind of a little bit of both. It's a nice little mixture that we have going there. We also have the torchbearers because we have, again, somehow lost the ability to build onagers. I think we could do that if we were adjacent to somebody else that could do onagers, but at the moment we're not, despite the fact that we, as Mordvinians, know what an onager is. Yeah, we can't use them. But it's kind of okay because the torchbearers are actually better against steppe settlements. They have bonuses. So there we are. Carneater coming in with a 50 stream streak. 50 streams in a row. Man, I'm more loyal to your channel than I was to my ex-wife. Maybe she was right and it was me who was the problem. Nah. And Faceless coming in with 86-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Faceless. 86 months. That is not a small amount. Thank you. Also, I did see that you were asking me earlier about Project Gorgon. I know it's an MMO, and quite frankly, I just do not have time to play MMOs. I am the type of person that if I start playing an MMO, I do it to the detriment of everything else. I just can't afford to do that. The last MMO that I played semi-seriously was Guild Wars, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And that was okay for being something I could jump off and onto. But prior to that, it was like EVE Online, which consumed about 3 years of my life. Shadowbane, which consumed 7 years of my life. Ultima Online, which consumed many years as well. Yeah. Just wondering, did your Warhammer 3 save break, or am I just playing different games right now? The Warhammer 3 save was the... Was that the Nolan game? No, I did that one in my own free time. Oh, it was the... I kind of forgotten about that. That was before I went to Norway. It was the Sailing High Elves, wasn't it? Yeah, I think at the moment, just because Mandate of... not Mandate of Heaven, what's it called? All Under Heaven released, and there are just so many things in Crusader Kings I just haven't seen before, despite being in the game for a while, like the nomadic gameplay. And then just the fact that the map was expanded so much. I just wanted to try more CK stuff. I really, really like CK. I think it's in just such a good spot at the moment that I'm just, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I would definitely like to go back to Mount Blade. My carpal tunnel has gotten better lately, rather than flaring up every 10 to 15 minutes as it did when it was at its worst. It's maybe once or twice a day instead. But I still want to take it easy so it doesn't flare up and get worse again. So I'm going to really let that one heal up a bit more, and then we will go back into it. Iceland, that was it, yes. So Warhammer is definitely not done. I'll go back to Warhammer at some point. Mount Blade, definitely not done. I'll go back to Mount Blade. But at the moment, I'm just on a bit of a CK thing. And the other game that I was going to potentially do this weekend, turns out the embargo was actually next weekend, so we'll probably do a stream of that as well as CK. And my goal right now is to just consolidate as a steppe nomad. We're still very much small fry. We've been trying to build up the herd. We have a huge herd capacity and we're nowhere near that, so I want to do to grow that up. And then I also want to increase the size of our standing army so that we can actually become a little bit more scary than we are at the moment, where we basically just have to run at the nearest hint of danger. Right, we just did the ploy to regain control of Sakmara, and we are now a tributary of this guy. And we have a truce accordingly for another 2 years. At which point I guess I just renew the tributary status. Although fertility is starting to tick down a bit. So we may well want to consider moving on again. The other thing to look at is the state of the steppe at the moment. And it's bad. Like, we are in the best of the worst areas. We're in a cold zone at the moment. There's a white zone in the eastern part of the steppe, and then the central part of the steppe is a drought. So yeah, fertility has not been great in the steppe for quite a long time. Looking like Warhammer Mount Blade mod is getting close to release. From what I've seen in the dev blogs, it's looking really good. I actually haven't checked out one of their blogs for a little while. What was it called? It's called Mount and Blade Warhammer mod. Old Realm, that was it. Speaking of flare-ups. Right. Let's take a look at the blog. Because I know they're working on the dwarves and on the orcs. The last one I saw was probably like September or something. Oh yeah, they've definitely done some updates. The last update was orcs. I feel like I've seen that one. No, I'm not sure what they have actually. Okay, they're adding a bunch of new scenes. That's kind of cool. Let me just flip over to this so you can actually see what I'm looking at the moment. I'm trying to scroll down to the last dev blog that I actually checked out. So this one was September, October. This is the one I've seen. Yeah, this is the one that's all about the dwarves. The runesmith, the trolls. So that one we've looked at. So it is the most recent one, which is this one, January. So career balance changes, new magic items, buffs, perks. Orc dueling. Orc players can now duel greenskin lords, which is something decidedly greenskinny, which allows you to gain both units and greenskin currency. Teeth if you win. So try to win. Greenskin shaman. Okay. War magic. Magic has had a rework for clarity and balancing, something we're constantly tuning and adjusting. Part of the rework was a visual adjustment to how we display spell damage and healing values. Magic itself's more stable, fair XP gain. Voting on whether to honour alliances. Trade agreements, better alliances. Strong ties between dwarfs and man mean that they will war less often, whereas the distrust between elves and dwarves will mean higher tensions. That is the shaman look. War boss. Choppers. Shields. Black orc shields. Orc bows. Ranger. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. Of course, I'm far more interested in the dwarven stuff. Banner remasters. Ooh, those are looking good. And then the scenes. So, Dwarf Karak and Kingsglade of the Wood Elves. The Limpin' Squig. The charming tavern for the greenskins. Honestly, wouldn't want to visit this one, but each to their own. Proven fit. Vampires. Oh, wow. Drakenhof. Nice. Bretonian Keep. A new city map for the Empire. Oh, there was a November dev blog. I completely scrolled past this one. Because it was the September one. September, October I'd seen already. Oh, they're recruiting writers. If I didn't work at Paradox, I'd be tempted. But I definitely don't have time for modding stuff on the side, unfortunately. Character creation specialization updated. A character creation of the current public version of the mod where you load into the map, you get a prompt to choose a god or a lore of magic. You've now integrated these decisions into a character creation process alongside some balance and gameplay changes. Oh, nice! So you can upfront make your decisions about which gods and which magic types you're focusing on. Orc boss career. Faction spawns. The map is starting to take shape over the upcoming updates. With it, we have the newest faction slowly filling out the map for you to discover in the future, as you can see below. So we've got orcs up there in the north. Not sure what that is. Maybe orcs as well. Dwarves. Orcs, dwarves, orcs, dwarves, dwarves. Orcs, dwarves, dwarves, dwarves. So lots of dwarves down here. Orcs. Dwarves, 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 orcs, dwarves, orcs. I'm assuming dwarves. And I don't know. I would actually have expected to see more of the dwarves over here. Kind of interesting they're lumping them all down this side. Greenskin faction mechanics. Teeth is the new custom currency for the greenskins and more important than gold. It's gathered, unsurprisingly, by kicking in some eds. However, if you do donate items to the pool of loot of a war boss in return for teeth as well. While greenskins like teeth, they also like food. A lot. Greenskins eat way more than the average human, and while they don't generally care that much for shinies, it's more important to keep their bellies full, or they're going to get proper killy and rowdy. Luckily, they don't care all that much about what they eat. I wonder what this chop button of the party screen does. Duels and brawls. All claws can be challenged to a duel. Oh, right, that's the bit that I read earlier. And there's the Orc Shaman. Treeman walking animations. Foregone Barrows. Imperial Span. I think it was Z4 and that was watching the streams from time to time. I'm always terrible at remembering names. I'm sorry. I know we had one of the mod creators watching. And then, yeah, there's the September, October, which I had seen previously. Okay, cool. So, yeah, definitely some progress being made. Very interesting to see the planned map locations. Nice. Excited. Let's hope that my wrist is recovered by then. Get a Mordred clone, then we can swap week by week who works on what. Yeah, we should get Gareth in here, you know, streaming. What is the next seasonal guess? White Zood for where we are now. With only a 1% chance of abundant grazing. So we are going to want to go east. Can we predict what the others are going to be? Yes. Pretty high chance of Blessing of Blue Sky or Everlasting Summer in the center. Or Abundant Grazing Everlasting Summer in the east. So we definitely want to uproot and move eastwards. Probably for the center step somewhere. So again, if we take a look at the terrain map mode, not terrain, simplified terrain, that's the one. Yeah, we are going to want to be kind of in this area if possible. So we have the mixture of steppe for the horse archers and then forest and taiga for the huskarls. Although maybe we should be sticking to our strengths, which is definitely huskarls, so maybe we should be focusing a bit more for the northern area. But at the moment, the fertility up there is just garbage. Kaio, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. 38 years old. Nice. Congratulations. Not sure Gareth is able to do Warhammer things. Never seen him do it. This is true. Yeah, this is very true. And I've never quite dared wear my Warhammer shirt to work in Paradox either. Usually it's Paradox related stuff. Anyway, back to the game at hand. So I think basically what we are doing at the moment is we're just trying to let the herd grow. It is a little bit passive at the moment. But we will want to start moving in this direction. We need to kind of work out how we want to go about doing that. Because just uprooting and then settling in the Cuman Confederation will generally piss them off and cause a fight between us. Which is kind of also why we want to be strong enough that we can actually vie for control of a location. And then take it over. He is always good. So who are we married to? Stein of the Steppe Vikings. This is us. The heir is Toasty. And at the moment I believe that everyone is super obedient. So we should have an unopposed succession, which is going to be very nice. Schema Court. Someone's trying to kill me! Well, it's not one of my regular guys, and my spy master is actually pretty good, so hopefully she'll be able to detect who it is. In terms of courtiers, do I need to add any more? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ah, yes! We do in fact want to stay here for a bit longer, because we really want to try to blend Oghu's culture with Mordvinian. That is going to be a process that takes a while. Especially because yearly gain is 0. But we don't use yearly gain, we have a different system thanks to this. Cultural acceptance will be increased by 3 between Mordvinian and other cultures in the realm every year. So for it to hit 20, we need plus 12. We need to stay here for 4 years, basically. So when is this due to end? 1st of January. Oh, started 1 AD. Okay, but when does it flip? 93. So we have 5 more years. Okay, that's fine. We should be accepted by that point. Although the fertility here is going to be 0. Although I think that this is the break-even. Unfortunately, the break-even is still kind of sucky. Jarl Dala became the new dynasty head. Oh, right. Ah, that was one of the things I was going to try and fix between streams. Did I do that in the end? I don't think so, because I think that the AI added another mythical ancestor upgrade. Yeah, I couldn't find a good way to do it. Because we went back to the non-achievement broken version, right? Yes. Nickname, The Honest. The Honest Thief, yeah, thanks. Now you're really just rubbing it in. My friend, have you heard what they call you? My friend Morikos says to me while holding his hands. They call you Chiefess Bjork the Honest. Spectacular, is it not? It's on the lip of every peasant and noble alike. Cause for celebration, I think. Honest. The honest, intricate webweaver who sucks at doing that. I think this is quite possibly one of the worst characters I've had. Certainly in this run. Alright, winter has come. Right, what I was going to check was to see if adding more Kulatai, supporting the herders, that's herd grain. Again, herd gain. This is managing fertility, but I don't think I can have multiple people managing fertility at once. No, I can't. Oh, explore cultures reduces hybridizing cost. You would actually be pretty decent at that. Go ahead. And let's do urgent. You have to click on here and then here. Oh, it's already at 14. Oh, it's shooting up at the moment. And still requires 20. And the culture would actually be called Steppe Viking. Glorious. Boulder. That is Volga, Bulgaria, which I believe is still Viking. Yes, it is. So Volga, Bulgaria seems like it's doing quite well. Mordvinia, not so much. And then we also have another Viking nomad in Skagen. Increase my dominance. Oh, yes, I would like to. Oh, that increases migration distance. And I can now target duchies, not just oh, what they're called. Counties. I would also then be able to get nomad lancers and potentially cataphract archers if I have the Iron Cavalry tradition, which we will have when we get Uyghur. So yes, I will spend the prestige to change dominance. Nobody opposes. I need 10,000 herd to get to the next level. And the other nice thing about this is I can upgrade the yurt if I have 170 ducats, which we don't. But hey, it's something to aim for. Now, are we at our fertility max? Nope, the max has actually gone way down. Oh, that's because it's not the capital. Yeah, okay. So what determines the consumption? Step season and the month. Okay. Anyway, we have a stewardship lifestyle perk. Herd gain 15%. That sounds fantastic to me. And then we also get the just free development growth. Although we do not use development, so does it still apply? Yep. But we will gain the extra supply limit from having that. Okay. I can live with this. And I think because we're going to hit that 20 level regardless, I'm going to switch you back to doing support the herders. And let's just have the herd growing as much as we can. Yeah, everyone's doing their diplomacy stuff. You have no control to be increasing. Posh Kirby has a lot of fertility. We're still not in one of the worst locations. How is your fertility so high? Cadet branch, Viking Urzen. Anyway, what I was going to look up was Skagen, because I know that toast Skagen in Swedish is toast with like prawn on top. It's quite nice. Or shrimp on top, rather. So is Skagen just shrimp? Is this the shrimp family? The skag. Because the en at the end of a word makes it definitive. That. So no. Skagen is just a name. Okay. Thralls are a fact of life in Mordvinian culture. Lower humans captured from abroad, born of thralls themselves. They work our fields and care for our hearths, in theory. Last night, one such slave decided he'd had enough and fled, taking an armful of valuable jewellery with him. What's worse, my husband, Stein, saw the thrall rushing into the dark and didn't think to tell anyone until the morning. So we can send a description to every village. Ooh, he stole 50 ducats. That sucks. So we have a 60% chance of catching him. Or Stein can pay us. God, no. He escaped. Bugger! I want to upgrade my domicile. Skagen is the tip of Lower Denmark, so not including Norway and Sweden. So basically, toast Skagen is when Swedes are eating Denmark. Seems reasonable. Eating Denmark on toast. Oh, Guardian. Really do wish there was a bigger pop-up for Guardians. So you are very clearly learning to fight. And we have one or two people that can teach you this. I'm going to say... either of you are ideal. I think I'm going to go with you because you are a brilliant strategist. Hopefully you don't mess this up entirely. I can demand that Beg Matiga becomes my tributary. Who is Beg Matiga? It's this guy. Might accept. If he doesn't... ah. If I move away, then I would lose that tributary status. We're at 19% already. We're actually going to be able to form this new culture very soon. So my time limit doesn't really matter. The main thing for me at the moment is just having as big a herd as I can. Specifically the northern tip of Jutland, so it's this bit. And yeah, we are almost at the break-even. I had a break-even during a poor time for the steppe. Like, the Khazars have by far and away the biggest herd, but then the next three are significantly smaller in comparison. Khazars are genuinely kind of terrifying. Reflections on the future. I am drawn to a nearby temple by the faint claps of worshippers as they beseech Odin for good fortune. So I can try to get health. I have no stress. I can do renown and opinion. Stewardship and income. I think their prosperity is probably the most important, seeing as, you know, focusing on stewardship. And yeah, the bigger the herd becomes, the more money I'm making. So this is good. This is fine. 25. Mordvinian is less than 50 years old. How can I tell how old it is? $10.51. So 11.01. That's 11 years from now. Alright, next question. How predominant is Uyghurs? Not very. Unless I go south. And how old are you? 38. So you would be 49. I mean, that's not an unreasonable age. None of these really have the abilities that I want. Uyghurs is nice because it has iron cavalry. And also warrior culture, which I'm tempted by. Yeah, Uyghurs are definitely the main one that I want in this area. Until eventually we get to Jurchen. Although Jurchen also has iron cavalry. But I think we kind of want iron cavalry to get across the steppe. Iron cavalry feels Norse enough, because we're basically... These are now mounted huscarls. They are the obvious merger of Viking armoured warriors and horse archers. In my mind, this concept makes sense. Speaking of which, we can also get lancers. And heavy horse archers. So lancers are good in the steppe, in the plains, in the drylands. And they are very, good in those locations. Heavy horse archers are specifically bad in forest and taiga. And cold. Oh, horse archers are not actually penalised in cold. Only penalised in jungle. But they don't have the massive bonuses of the steppe. But that's okay. Like, horse archers and huskarls, I think, is a fine combination. Like, they'd actually have relatively similar stats. We just need to get out the steppe. We are not good in the steppe. So then we've got the acceptance. Tosti comes of age. Gains adequate bargainer and open terrain expert. This is the heir. So we're a level 2 diplomat. But we are quick and we are strong. Okay, that's interesting. Tosti's going to be an interesting character. We should get you married. Let's say maximum age of 25. Sort this by sum of all skills for now. Nobody here is immediately jumping out at me. It is. Brave, humble, and zealous. You are also true. You're pretty, which is one of the traits we do not have. Just, ambitious, and calm. That's a good combo. You also have a lot more learning. Though Tosti's learning doesn't suck. Their intrigue's going to be bad, but as we've seen, I do not tend to focus intrigue. You've got good military to back him up. Mutlu might be a good choice. I think I'm leaning more towards Mutlu. You are not also true, but you're also not a zealot, so we can probably convert you. You don't belong to a house. This is going to come with a prestige cost. But we're not tribal, so prestige doesn't matter quite as much. Mutlu it is. Do I have siege weapons? Yes, I have torch throwers. Okay, so Mutlu is now married. And still actually has a decent amount of prestige for a 16-year-old. Oh, sorry, Tosti is now married with a decent amount of prestige for a 16-year-old. And we are now at the break-even. So this is what our economy is going to look like for the foreseeable future. Do we want to stay here for 10 more years? I think probably, but now that we've actually made the amount that we need, I can switch you back to improving the aptitude of the other court positions, which seems entirely reasonable. Let's have you organising the court. You're still trying to improve your skills. You are now a level 1 position, so you are actually getting better. That's good. Monthly income from herd. Maybe a quartermaster would be quite good. Actually, we're kind of lacking good people. Don't really have the money, I don't think, to try to recruit more. But we have gained another 1,000 to our herd in the meantime. So that does continue to grow. Now, if we're going to stay here for 10 years, then we kind of might as well demand this guy become a tributary. Good. He accepted. So what is the upkeep of soldiers? It's just gold, isn't it? Yeah. Is it worth... Oh, even if I wanted to, I can't afford it. Wait, yes I can. No, I can't. I need more money. And I think I want to save the money to upgrade the domicile, because that's just a permanent upgrade. Culture clash. Most of the commoners living in the Viking Mordvinian are of Ogur's descent, proud of their traditions. It does not sit well with them that they serve a foreigner like myself when the neighbour Beg Iodin shares their culture and history. So we can teach them our superiority. I don't want to change them to Mordvinian, that's bad. Promote culture speed. I'm not promoting cultures, that's fine. Or I lose the popular opinion. I don't want to do that. No, this is fine. I don't care. Like, we're trying to hybridize. Everyone's culture is totally respectable. Wow, we are gaining renown really freaking fast again. I really wish I'd found a way of assigning the dynasty legacies if I was not the head dynast. But as it is, we are not even way down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th down. Will we be good in Japan or the Philippines? I think so. Because we'll still have the sailing heritage from the Vikings. I fully intend to keep that. So when we're back into being in an area where we can sail, that would be great. Although maybe I should drop the sailing heritage until I am back over here and then pick it up again. That might actually not be a bad idea, you know. Far from home. Have you seen him? Where do you think he comes from? And what do you think of his clothes? The muttering is almost unavoidable as I make my way through the camp. The reason is soon apparent. A strangely dressed man stands next to the fire. Greetings, frightful chiefess. I am a Sarahi merchant stranded in this strange land. It's my desire to spend some years at your court. Sure. Hey, and he converted. Actually, that is something I should probably do, is go through my courtiers and see if I can convert anyone. I'm not going to be very good at this, because I'm a bit of a dum-dum. But we can at least try. Yeah, we did not have many people that we can try to convert. Oh, we got Moshe. Okay. Stewardship perk. So, defensive measures gives me extra fort level and garrison size. Also allows me to purchase truces. That sounds like it's probably going to be useful. Organised muster calls. It means I can get more horde riders and levy reinforcements. Recover faster. Okay. Have you raised armies? What's going on? Oh, you're being raided. Do I care? Only if you move into my lands. You are going to try and fight them. You are slightly outnumbered there. Oh no, you joined them. It's these guys. Wait, are you fighting? That's not a raid. That is a war. Uskan conquest of the chieftain of Alatau. Huh. Sucks to be you. Oh, you beat someone from Mordvinia. Styrbjorn. Razan. Oh, you're not actually... I don't know who you were actually fighting there. And neighbouring ruler is just the Khazars. Fair enough. Not my problem. Well, we're about to enter into this cold Zud moment. Sorry, the white Zud, which is going to be even worse. So we might be about to see our fertility just disappear. No grass can be seen under layers of snow, white as the moon. Death has come to take our animals. However, with lower chances to survive, people are a lot more susceptible to swear their obedience. So I immediately just lose 330 herd, which sucks. Control goes down, but control is something I can actually control quite easily. Let's just let you do that for a little while. And the herd growth has really fallen off, and I'm going to assume that fertility drops too. Yeah, slightly. Less than I expected. But we are putting quite a lot of effort into maintaining fertility, so that's not that much of a surprise. I can also have you do control, so that we can just get this doubly as quick. That was Volga, Bulgaria losing the war. Down to just 99 troops. Oops. Oh, you got the Finnish archers in your army. Huskars, the Finnish dudes, and House Guard. I mean, once you rebuild this army, it's going to be quite formidable. Ah, the last of my Mordvinian. The last of Mordvinia has fallen. But our culture lives on. As does... Right! Khazar converted! I'd forgotten about that. Oh no, we had an indelible impact on this region. You're up to 9,000 troops. What's your maximum? 84. Wow. Can you play as Japan? Yep. Play as Japan, you can play as China, you can play in the Philippines, you can play in Indonesia. Everything that's on this map is playable. Ingbjorg comes of age. Okay, should get you married as well. So you are another of the terrible tricksters. So you're also kind of a steward. You have various claims on things. Ambitious, diligent, arbitrary, and shy. Temperate, diligent, and impatient. And beautiful. Maybe Silbu? Humble, brave, and ambitious is more in keeping with the traits that I usually like to espouse. You also have an amazing capability for violence. So let's go with him. It is matrilineal. So we now have a 20 combat guy on our court, which is quite nice. Wish they put the jump around to specific dates in TK3 they had in TK2 so you can play specific people. Ah, Moshok died. The problem with that is it's an absolute nightmare to maintain. We want someone who's obedient. Maybe Tosti? Yenisel Cooler could be nice. Can I get you to convert? At least not at present. Can I improve relations with you? Let's do that. Because the thing is, Tuki is a bit more of an all-rounder. So you get 25 if you're part of the Kulatai, so that would get you to 31. That's still too low, but then if I improve relations, we can probably get you above 50. And Tosti is incredibly obedient. I do kind of wonder if having one of these positions is going to give him training and that type of thing. Probably. Let's go with Tosti. And you're managing fertility at the moment. Who is our best steward? Fortunately, the Point Kulatai member hides that. You are just... Okay. 5 more months of control exertion and then we go back to building the herd up. We've hit 3,000 meanwhile. So income and stuff is going up. We can designate another guardian. So you are wanting to learn diplomacy. Yes, and that is what you are good at. And diplomacy is one of the few skills that I actually feel like we have the capability of teaching. And teaching quite well. I think that having gregarious as opposed to compassionate is better. Fortunately, the rest of your skills are absolutely dire. Meanwhile, we have 100 ducats. How much was this upgrade going to cost again? 170. Alright, we're still a ways away from that. That would be 42. This would be 106. Or we could build one of the other buildings, which is significantly cheaper. But I don't quite yet know what I would want to do there. Whereas upgrading the main yurt is just always good. It also increases the herd capacity. Although capacity is not what I really need. You have finished doing that, so you're back to that job. That's fine. Oh, that reduces men-at-arms maintenance. We have nobody that can really do that job, though. We do have several caravan masters. Yazi would be the best. It's going to cost me 0.1 per month, and I don't need you right now. It is August. We could go hunting. It is a thing that we are quite good at. Costs me herd, though. Probably still worth. And we've been preparing the area for hunting in. Let's go here. There's sheep on the map. It's got to be a better location. Let's bring a reasonable party. We are doing this for recreation. Get rid of some of the stress. I will be hosting a hunt in the Steppe Viking Augurs, and time has come for us to depart. At last, a chance to pursue my passion and practice my skills. Bork assembles the party as soon as the sun rises over the camp in the grasslands near Kaganskoy. I am told there are no signs of buck or bison herds nearby, though the grounds are suitable for a Saiga hunt. So we can go for Saiga. We can try to find a wolf. Or we can try to get a hare. What is my prowess? 17. So we are pretty good at that. Let's see if we can find a wolf. Fairly decent at hunting. It's starting to get dark, Philatros tosses a coin. We better find a place to... But a sentence gets abruptly interrupted. A dead wolf lies on the snow, a cup pushing its head against a lifeless body. The cold must have killed the mother, or do not stop. So I can gain the pelt, but I can't gain the wolf. In the unforgiving steppe of Kaganskoy, the chase has been long. Onward we ride, leaving behind the poorer riders, the weaker horses, but now even the strong geldings grow lean. Our noble beasts can carry us through this hunt, but keeping on at this pace, the horses will return home, thin and unready for battle. The prey that is stalked slowly does not flee. Can take the hunting skill. My friend Morikos signals in the flat land. The whole wolf pack crouches in a hollow not far off. The beasts bolt on our approach, howling in alarm as they retreat into the tall grass, fangs snarling. We chase after the fleeing grey vermin, focusing on the largest of the group. Now begins the real chase. After it, we ride! Like all game, the slippery wolf has its tricks, blenches and ruses that can fool even experienced hunters. My friend Morikos has halted the prey. The wily wolf has been doubling to and fro, retracing its steps and running trails to throw us off the scent. There is no agreement over which course to follow, and each moment we tarry puts us further from our prize. Patience, this should be easy to solve. We are pretty good at this. We have hunter skills. Soon find the scent. Success chance increases. After hours of riding, we are finally cornering the wily beast. Our chase has not been in vain. Whether tired or defiant, the wolf at last halts, turns towards us, and lets out an almighty howl. The huntsmen quickly surround the growling animal, which glowers at me, its bared fangs frothing and dripping with saliva. Charge! The group surges forwards, fanning out around the terrified animal. We slowly surround it, spears bristling, but Anodr takes a strike before we put the howling beast out of its misery. Quick, he needs help! At long last, I am finally home. There is nothing better than arriving in the steppe Viking augurs after a long journey. I look forward to resting for some time, since now the time has come to participate in the hunt. That seems a bit wrong. So we gained 11 points in Wanderer and 2 points in Horse and Hustluder. Hunts like these are a pure joy, and I cannot wait for next year. There is nothing quite like the thrill of bringing down a mighty beast. I directed the breaking up, deftly skinning the carcass with precision and speed, so we did get it. We place eager dog's share of the spoils and the stretched hide before departing for camp and home. So yes, I am now a level 1 Venator. And Hustluder as well. A little bit in Horse. Lose a bunch of stress, gain legitimacy, which actually puts me over to level 5 legitimacy, which is quite nice. Prowess goes up. I can make a feast. I gain some wolf fangs. Cool. So then the other thing is stacked meat. Feast cost minus 50, so maybe we host a feast. We will feast on wolf. Om nom. Level 1 Venator gives me learning prowess, health boost, and stress lost reduction, which is good. And I am now considered an ordained ruler. I gain extra renown. Tributary opinion is up. Herd gain plus 30%. Yeah, that's double what I used to get. Nice. Okay. So feast still costs 105. No, cost 19. I thought 105 was a bit high. I'm not travelling anywhere. We can call in an honorary guest. We could bring in Matego the Pashangs. He's the one who's currently fighting my boss, I believe. Let's choose you. Oh no, he's my tributary. Maybe Mutlu instead? Then we can gain some more obedience from her. Not that that really matters right now. Although it would increase relations. You know what? Mutlu is a better choice, because then I can try and get her to convert too. Exotic delicacy is more prestige gain. Sure. I don't want to spend a crazy amount on this. Number of courses. We will have an appropriate number of courses. This will cost me 19 ducats. That actually seems fine. And we can do this for recreation as well. Not that I really need it, but we're just kind of chilling at the moment, so might as well. The servants run across the hall, bringing the final decorations. Some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. Oh, I seem to have spotted some roasted swan already. The guests are gathered in the hall, lords and ladies from near and far reaches of the realm. The mood is bright and spirits are high at the feast. What started an ordinary feast has become an exceptional one thanks to the presence of Arslan. We spoke all evening about all matter of subjects, and as things would have it, we seem to have a lot in common. I had such a good time with him. Servants are carrying out impressively adorned entremets, a number of proud peacocks skinned, cooked and stuffed, then redressed in their magnificent plumages. However, as Ingbjorg brought a knife close to one of them, the fowl came to with a shriek. This one wasn't cooked at all. It pecked at Ingbjorg's nose before bursting forth among the screaming and laughing guests. As the bird ran wild, Chieftain Stein rose to the challenge. Proved great entertainment to see him desperately chase the raving creature across the tables. In the end, we managed to scare the peacock towards the great hall doors, where it escaped into the night. No feast is complete without a prank. Medium boost and stress gain reduction. That's good. My lady, the wine. We cracked open the next barrel. It's gone bad. It's all gone bad. The feast is still raging, but without drink, the mood is sure to dwindle. I'm not spending 50 ducats. I also don't want to... Well, we're feasting, so I'm going to lose stress at the end of it. We all have to pitch in. Come on now. Gained a rival. Ingbjorg has become rival. After days and nights of joyous company, my feast is soon appearing to be over. Almost every guest seems to be pleased, except for Ingbjorg, who is still clutching her nose where the peacock marked her. We should do this one. The feast is dwindling down. I find myself deep in conversation with the generous courtier Mutlu. She inquires about my opinion on troop composition, a subject she is deeply interested in herself. Fascinates me as well. And now she's at 100. The feast is starting to draw to a close. My visitors are already surely expecting me to lavish a little attention on Mutlu, our esteemed guest of honour. Traditionally, a complimentary toast and a deep drink of tea does the trick. Then again, all Mutlu did was turn up. The feast was my idea. I paid for everything and I hosted everyone. To Mutlu. Few candles survive. The last of the guests have left. I can hear a pair of servants letting out sighs of relief after the doors close. The food is still warm on the plates. Soon word will reach every corner of the realm, and every noble worth their salt will know that my magnificence is unparalleled. With all the guests leaving, the entire contents of the vast pantry in their bellies, I'm proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I'm grateful the endeavour is over for now. That'll do. And then you... 70% chance. Refused. How can you refuse me? Shocking. Facing a chaotic succession. Why? Oh, Ingbjorg was one of the Kurultai. Oh, that will not do. That will definitely not do. Wait. No, she's not. So why does her opinion matter at all? Well, we can try and sway her. Or I can duel her. Watch it, you. That's better. Alright, I'm going to try and sway her as well. See if I can change her from being a rival. Meanwhile, 6 more years until I can hybridize. And there are wars going on around me. Should I raise some more troops? I can now afford it. Probably? No, my herd is not big enough that I can actually afford that. I really need to move to better lands. How is the fertility of everything looking nowadays? Yeah, we're in the poor bit. And this is now clearly improving. We're expecting cold Zud or severe drought next time, so we really need to move on. Havsaran Zud is a combination of the true or more types of Zud. The grass is covered by ice and snow. Storms savage the land. Freezing temperatures prevent animals from even moving, and the grass is dead. During a Havsaran Zud, the only way is out. So really the ideal one would be Central Steppe again. Right, I've got another steward perk. So organised muster rolls, that gives me more horde riders. I can live with that. Meanwhile, I am now at 1,000 troops. So we are not without capabilities at this point. Who are you fighting? The Deer of Veronalsk. My master of the hunt, Merikos, brings word of the beast spotted in my realm. I'm hearing much talk of the Viking Mordvinian. It is said there are excellent prospects for hunting thereabouts, with a worthy stag seen roaming the steppe. So we have a game sighting for 3 years. Now, unfortunately, we have just done a hunt, so I don't think I can do another one. No, not for another 10 months. But in 10 months' time, we can do one. That works for me. You had ham and coleslaw sandwich and prawn cocktail crisp for lunch, and I'm having Domino's pizza for birthday dinner. Oh, very nice. I had pizza yesterday for lunch. There's a Pizza Hut place just down the road from Paradox, which does lunch buffets. They're actually quite cheap. Well, actually, one of the really nice things about Sweden is they have a eat out at lunch culture, and most restaurants do a pretty hefty discount for lunchtime. It's really quite nice for that. So very often you eat out for lunch and then you eat something more simple at home in the dinner. For dinner. Do the Khazars have a holy site? That's a good question. Well, they do. Oh, as in, do they own Kiev? No. It is currently Catholic. But But if anyone was able to take that, it would be the Khazars. We now have Sigtuna and Nidaros. Wow, Shari is rather large. Fervor continues to grow. For now. Totally forgot about these. Because I have some more wolf fangs that I can display, and also the wolf pelt. So I failed. Oh, only over 33%. William Bashins, after having spent some time in the pastures with the shepherds, Anandur returned to the yurt with a smile on his face. I want to be the one who herds the sheep, rather than a chiefess like you, mother, he exclaims. Their life seems so simple without the worries of battle and rule. He hands me a freshly sheared bundle of wool, and although it's rough and dirty, I can sense passion in his words. Anandur is not the next in line. Yeah. It is wise to know the ways of the shepherd. After all, it is the very cornerstone of our economy. You don't need to do control anymore, you can go back to doing the aptitude buff. We are very close to getting another level of renown. We're still a long way away from the next legacy point though. Iodin is at war with Mumid, which is this guy. 1,700 versus 1,500. I could sway that if I were so inclined. Oh no, there's actually no way you can win this. Like, yes, you may have the bigger army at the moment. In fact, your entire army is just a holy order. You're both Tengri. The Rubble of Odin. Onagers and Huskars. That sounds like my kind of army. Oh, we have 3 orders now. Odin's Valkyries, the Faithful of Tyr, and the Chosen of Freya. Yom's Viking pirates, they are all Yoms. Oh no, they're not. We also have some Bondi. Counters, heavy infantry, and archers. Oh, they are skirmishers. 5 years remaining. You want to demand my courtier. Sod off. What you gonna do? Fight me for it? I have a bigger herd than you do at this point. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to upgrade this to level 3 because that's just a bonus that's going to carry over. And then I'm going to try and upgrade my army some more. I think that's what I'm going to do. We stay here for another 5 years. Then we head off to the central steppe. Oh yeah, and you wanted to know what level 2 Hunter does. Level 2 Venator Oh! Early medieval. Sweet. Level 1 was learning 1, prowess 1, tiny health, stress loss 5. Learning 1, prowess 2, small health, stress loss 10. So it almost doubles the level 1 stuff. Anyway, Mordvinian is now early medieval. However, because we're nomadic, we'll be gaining things very slowly. But they're going for mangonels first! Oh, good. We're going to have decent catapults, basically, from the start of the age. That's going to be really helpful. Both the fascination and the cultural spread. And after that, probably battlements from Denmark. See, Skagen rises again. We failed again to sway her. I mean, her relations is now up to 50, so she doesn't absolutely hate us. And actually having relations of plus 50 with a rival is quite impressive. $169, so next month we'll be able to build the domicile. Although whether I really want to go to 0 gold is certainly a concern. My herd is growing so much that the fertility minimum is being hit. Let's go and upgrade you to level 3. Although this is going to reduce my herd size. But this is a permanent upgrade, as long as we remain nomadic. So herd capacity is plus 1,000. This one actually has no bonus to that, it just has the 5%. So 1,000 and 10%. Fort level goes up by 1. And then most importantly, domicile income and prestige. Another building slot, but that doesn't really help us. Then also a defensive holding advantage. Make it happen. And yeah, losing 800 herd definitely hit us quite hard. Aoden beat Mumud, as I knew he would. Fighting someone when you have no herd as a steppe nomad's not good, because instead of replenishing troops with gold, you actually replenish with herd. You have to do the recruits from not that one. Refill men at arms, which uses herd. Rather, instead of it being automatic with gold over time, it works a bit more like the adventurers, where you spend herd or money. Herd being the much cheaper version. The much cheaper option. Culture clash! Keep their traditions, it's fine. Ooh, cultural acceptance is actually decreasing, so let's go and put you back into blending the cultures for a bit. Sturdy main yurt has been built. Good. I can now store up to 10,000 herd. Hybrid culture, Sino-Chiang. Being raided by them. Those are Mordvins. Oh, Mordvin, not Mordvinian. Meanwhile, Skagen was wiped out. Well, maybe not necessarily wiped out, maybe just tributary. Yeah, Mordvinia is actually a tributary now. Okay, that's kind of more understandable. He's actually a Kulatai member as well. Of the Khazars. You are still feudal. Alright, Ulfhildr, you are quick. And you very much want to learn to fight. Well, now we actually have someone who can teach you. Who's you? Reiko is the other one. You want to learn to be stabby or diplomatic. You actually do want to learn intrigue. Oops, that's good. And Ikale can teach you intrigue. Hopefully better than what our character got. Also, we can do the feast. And I think I will, because we've spotted deer. Maybe we do this as a nudge. Let's hold it here. This is for recreation. That's fine. Let's go with a reasonable party. Let's do obedience. Anyone I particularly want to make obedient? Actually, you. Because you're my best fighter, and I want to make sure that you're actually on my side, should things go wrong. A fresh start. I'll be hosting a hunt in the steppe Viking Orcus, and the time has come for us to depart. At last, a chance to pursue my passion and practice my skills. The deer are close. I can feel it. Horse riders are lined up behind me in a column stretching out from left to right. My chiefess, they're awaiting the signal to begin, Marikos tells me, as he leans a bit closer. The preparations are done. I knock an arrow, lift my bow, and let the arrow fly. With a pained scream, I see a plump goat fall twitching to the ground. Panic's bleating follows as chaos spreads amongst the beasts, followed by the rhythmic thump of hooves as riders set out on the hunt. I do like these animations. Hundreds of wild beasts have been slain, their carcass and blood staining the ground, but despite this imminent success, some are not satisfied with our spoils. I thought we came to witness power, Stein says, his voice carrying over the din of the hunt. We must do more. If I would have shot that first arrow, we'd have enough meat to last us a dozen winters. Stein looks at me, his eyes burning with a fierce light. Don't you agree, Chiefess? I will show you the meaning of true power. Fuck. The rush of the hunters died down, and many of the hunters returned to camp to discuss their plans, while the rest observed the deer from a distance. We must be gruesome, ruthless as we are to our foes, Yaronaslu exclaims. Chilbook, nodding in agreement, adds, but there will be no strength in numbers if we do not work together. Before another argument can break out, Ituk steps in to offer his own advice. We stick to tradition, Ituk asserts, but with patience. Watch the animals, close in on them slowly, and strike when they least expect it. In the midst of the chatter, they turn to me, waiting for my opinion. Well, not that one, because I have a very high chance of being wounded. That does increase hurt gain. I think I care a bit more about that than the Nurge outcome. Successful. Good. No stress gained either. A rogue stag, Bork announces in a hushed tone. One arrow directly to its heart and it'll be ours, Chiefess. Urusulu nods and draws his bow, waiting for instructions. Leave it to me. Yeah! Wait! Chobuk abruptly dismounts his horse, kneeling on the ground. I thought I saw it. Here! Must have belonged to less fortunate hunters, he snarkily remarks, presenting a blood-stained bow, the wood chipped. It's as if my land's... If it's in my land, it belongs to me. Again, a carbon composite bow. Which is actually something... I don't have a weapon yet. Mine. Master of the hunt, position vacated. Oh dear. Despite our best attempts, the hunt has been a depressing sight. A couple of beasts have fallen, but not nearly as many as we'd planned or hoped for. My fellow riders look at me with despondent eyes, the shame heavy on them as it is on me. How can we possibly show our faces in the steppe Viking augurs after this? So I lose some dread. Yeah, well. I got a bow, so I'm not going to call this completely a waste. It's only level 5, but hey, it gives me some more prowess. Viking dynasty is now known far and wide. Oh, this also gives more hunter experience gain. Nice. And Maracai. Oh, he was my previous good fighter. Okay, so first of all, we need a new... Well, we need the new hunt person. Stein's quite good. Well, I definitely want to give this job to you, because you have by far and away the highest martial. And you are now obedient. So that was successful. I think I'm also going to give this one to him as well. Keeper of the horses. And chief bodyguard. I'm giving him a lot of jobs. He's going to have to be extremely loyal after this. I don't need a caravan master. Okay, good. Council position. It's probably going to be him. Yeah. It's only your stewarding that sucks, but Tosti's got that job in hand. And then, available perk, popular figurehead. Nice. What's that do again? General populace, every county has an opinion of the character who holds the county. If the population's unhappy, they might start to join peasant faction or populist factions. Easiest way of controlling popular opinions to ensure the county holder has the same culture and faith as the population. Popular opinion from having a different faith is modified by both the county's faith hostility and its fervour, scaling linearly between 0 and 100. Well, they absolutely adore me here, so I think we're good. And we are 3 years away from being able to form this hybrid culture. And then we need to decide precisely how we want to do that. And then we need to decide how on earth we're going to move to the centre, because I do not want to stay in the west anymore. It's time for us to cross the Urals. The tavern in Steppe Viking Augurs is usually the perfect place to forget about the troubles of the world, but tonight is an exception. As ill luck would have it, sitting just one table over from Mutlu and I is my daughter, Ingbjorg. She has been a nuisance since we arrived. All it took was one more accidental spill of tea over my arm, and suddenly Mutlu was on her feet. Ingbjorg rises in turn, and the two in the process of a rather drunkenly squaring up by the time I managed to haul myself to my feet as well. Hit her in the face! Mutlu very likely to lose. Not worth it. Or I duel Ingbjorg. I mean, my prowess is now 23. I am no slouch in a fight. And Mutlu is now loyal. That's nice. Ingbjorg is... Right, she's my daughter. I had forgotten that. Punch her in the face. She's not worth it. Mutlu loses. Anandar comes of age. He's already scarred. He's 16. Only developed basic understanding of the subject, but at least he's learned the essentials of managing an army. I can only hope the rest comes with experience, but we need to get him married now. So your primary thing is punching people, but actually it's learning. Humble, diligent, and patient is a very good combination. You at least are quick. What's a Mordvinian? Comely and quick. Generous, brave, and temperate. You know what? You are the choice. And you gain a bunch of prestige too. Nice. And we now have an alliance with Begun Ipek of Medvitsa. You are also true Khazar, so you're there in the middle. Okay. Gonna be moving away soon, so you may not have an opportunity to use that. He's really beat upable at this point. Although my own army has suffered a little because we have lost 700 herd. My rival is now at plus 70 relations. Ah yes, we are now famous. Oh no, we are significant. On our way to famous. Not there yet though. Accusations of sorcery? Bloodstained cloth, crow's feathers, strange smelling concoctions. This is the evidence presented to me by a group of villagers from Steppe Viking Oguz as proof that Vagan has been practicing sorcery in his hut on the outskirts of the village. Well, upset peasants reduces popular opinion, but I already have very popular opinions. So I can gain stewardship lifestyle, or I can get him to join us. He is extremely learned, though he is 63. Come join us. Stay a while. Listen. Do we know exactly when this was formed? Yeah, 1051, but we don't know when in 1051. Oh, forest folk, due to be established in 8 years. Oh, do I wait another 8 years so I can get forest folk as well? I think I have to. Because I do really want forest folk. Yeah. This increases fertility in taiga and forest. This is perfect for me. Alright, we wait. War declared war on Suzerain. Sonmez is my sovereign, being attacked by the Kuluks, which is not them. It's one of these. You. 19 soldiers! Against 1,000. Good luck with that. Tall tales at the table. It's been a long evening in the company of Heriolfer. The wanderer stopped in Sakmara for the night, paying for his stay in the tales of his exploits that have lasted for hours. You'll have to stay here. The wandering knave. Oh, I did say I needed people. Chiefstef Bjork, we've had our differences in the past, but don't you agree it's time to let bygones be bygones? My daughter Inbjork gestures from me to her. Whatever is between us, let us start anew. Let's! Okay, we're no longer rivals with our daughter. Much less chance of accidentally murdering her ass. Probably. Oh, Guardian. So, Bjork Tostisdotter is learning stewardship at the moment. She is good at stewarding. Do we have anyone that can teach her stewarding? Not really. The best person would be me. Alright, let's see what we can make of this. I think I'm about to screw up her life. This is gonna go fine. I can demand that Iltabar Sandil II becomes my tributary. You are... Oh, you're that guy. With your 140 men. Sure. Done. Uskid Oigurs is growing. Unfortunately, my boss still has more troops than me, but only just. And I did actually say that I'd be willing to invest money in upgrading. However, we are planning to move to Forest. Probably. So do I invest in Huskarls? Or Horsemen? Which is more expensive? He costs 50. You cost 43, so you are cheaper. Although these guys are currently stationed in a holding, so they are just stronger. So it's got to be you for now. Now I really do need to let my money go up for a bit. Hey, caught a stream for once. How's it going on? How's the Byzantine branch of the family doing? That's a good question. I mean, Byzantium certainly still seems to be struggling. Next in line is Vladimir of House Viking. So he is currently the most popular option for the Imperial seat. Meanwhile, you are getting closer. Ooh, it's Konungard. Why is it called Konungard? It's Russian and Catholic. It's not also true. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, but who's your lord? Wait, you're just independent? Oh, because you're Swedish. Yeah. It's owned by Swedes, therefore it's Konungard. Huh. Unfortunately, you are Orthodox, not also true. That's a big old Norway. Oh, England seems to be struggling against Alba. And Karelia. They're a bit far from home. It's like when England was in the middle of, like, Ukraine. I guess that would be Belarus, but still. I really want to move away from this area. How's the fertility? Oh yeah, it's really recovered over here. Red. We're still not in the poorest area, but we're also certainly not in the wealthiest. But I need to stay here until another 7 years. I was hoping that we'd be able to convert next year, but we really shouldn't. Another council meeting, another conflict. Kurultai member Yanuslu and Kurultai member Arslan are arguing violently about the next charity project. As chiefess, I could silence them with a single word, but I have a better idea. My diplomatic pursuits have given me insight on how to handle situations like this to help everyone. So I have a 75% chance of a good outcome. Failed. Has that affected their loyalties? Nope. Good. How old are you nowadays? 54. Okay, I need to be on the lookout for another good spy master. I can demand Beg Mumu to become my tributary. Oh, you're the big dog next door. Used to be. Good. So I'm getting 0.1 from my tributaries, and I'm paying 0.4 to my suzerain. Your army just increased by 400. You saw me looking at you going, Hmm. Dynasty head changed. Tora became the new dynasty head. Dal has become ill, so it's now Volga, Bulgaria. As long as that doesn't change, our adoption of forest folk is fine. We keep construing. Divided attention. Minimum domain, maximum domain. What's a minimum domain? You're saying I should have 3 territories. Didn't even know I could have more than 1. Apparently I can, though. Huh. Succession again. Why? One of my Kulatai is disobedient. No, they're not. Everyone's obedient! What's the problem here? It's not true. They're all blue. Not just by a little, in most cases. Is this game going to stay in TK3? Remember the original March of the Vikings was an entire mega campaign. Probably. Oh, you want to learn Norse? Heck yeah. Well done. Yes, probably. Unless there's a good converter from CK3 to EU5, but I kind of doubt it. And also, I just haven't played enough EU5 to really, I think, do it justice yet. It is another game that I need to go back to. Another game. There are so many games I want to play at the moment. I have this going on. I have Rogue Trader going on, though I'm not streaming that. I'd like to go back to Total War Warhammer because I had a fun Nuln game going. I want to play Baldur's Gate 3 again because I still haven't completed that. Always like going back to Age of Wonders. Mount and Blade Bannerlord, obviously. Yeah, so many things. My spy master Ikale and E5 and I are observing my son Hreikir as he skips happily across the encampment with a few rocks at hand, ready to be played with. Ikale eagerly turns to me with a huge smile. Don't you think it's time for Hreikir to learn how to ride a horse instead of playing childish games? I preferred a most gentle colt and some rope that should keep him safe during his first ride. 70% chance that he succeeds. Idiot child. Arrange betrothal. No. I'll handle that myself. Guardian. Irsa. Irsa really wants to learn stabby stabby. So Ikale, you have your second ward. Still don't understand why I'm facing that. Khazars are currently fighting someone. Who are you fighting against? Khan Bastu of the Karyagic Khanate in the Khazar dominance expansion over the Badun of Mordvinia. Oh, these guys. Bodin's the kingdom. So it must be these territories. Can't be many of them though. It's not. No, it's this. It's one county. You're trying to get a cursor from them. Yeah, and the Khazars themselves hold the Kingdom of Mordvinia title. Getting that back would be a pain. Good luck! Fertility is sitting at 12. Meanwhile, Yugro is actually united. 1102. So I would be able to hybridize now if I wanted to, but we still need to wait another 4 years. So 1105, no, 1106, we'll be able to do it. Crusade for the Khanate of Ruthenia. Huh. During my afternoon stroll down the streets of the steppe Viking augurs, my daughter Auslag runs up to me. Mother, they just started swinging at each other when... She's interrupted by a high-pitched shriek, turning our attention to the fight down the street. The combatants appear to be a couple of young lads from my court, circling each other in preparation for another tussle. Break it up. Auslag. Go help them mediate. Western steppe, cold Zud. The cold cuts sharply through the skin. The skin around my cheeks has started peeling off. Animals shiver under the strong winds, bereft of energy to feed themselves. So we've gone from a bad season to a bad season. Oh, Auslag has come of age. Excellent grasp of manners, of etiquette, and understanding of all types of entertainment, and the eloquence to go with it. Shall have little challenge navigating court. Okay, so who do we marry you off to? This is matrilineal because I'm still trying to grow the steppe Viking dynasty. Let's go by some of skills, as I usually do. Saiyan is good. Super high stewardship. You are, however, possessed, and that is congenital. Maybe not. Illic Borovon is considered quick. Cynical, content, and calm. You'd be the safe choice. Yaz's Ayazamura is a good fighter. Buaktana is a good steward. And judging by our experiences previously, it is kind of stewarding that we want the most. Tuznik is already also true. He's also quite learned. Honest, greedy, and diligent. That works. Needs me to fix the control. Let's have you fix some control here, please. Thank you. In fact, we're at 50% cultural acceptance. Four more years. Oh yeah, this crusade is a Catholic crusade for the Karajak Khanate. Oh, it's against the Orthodox. They're going for Kiev. Yeah, it's Orthodox versus Christianity. Interesting. I think that's the first crusade as well. How's your hand, by the way? Remember you stopped Bannerlord because he gave you carpal tunnel. It's still recovering. I was talking about that at the beginning of the stream. It's gone from having a flare-up every like 10 to 15 minutes to maybe once or twice a day. So it's quite considerably better than it was. But it's still not 100%, which is why I'm still taking it kind of easy. When did the Khazars convert to Austrian? Sometime between me being in Mordvinia and moving east. I don't know exactly when. I don't even know exactly why. But I approve. Boiling anger! You might be Chief Despiorg, but you're also an apparent Scallion! Thank you for the stress reduction. War declared on tributary. You're being attacked by the Khazars. Good luck with that. Which is probably also a sign for me that I really need to think about leaving soon. Herke spit in my granddaughter Bjork's food during dinner a few nights ago. One of the cooks came upon Bjork getting revenge by spitting in Heike's food in secret. That explains why Heike's been looking a bit green during dinner. So deceitful, vengeful, or calm? Calm is... no, patient is our family trait, isn't it? Although I have none of those. Vengeful is good because vengeful is virtuous to Austruans. Take vengeance! Another perk available. Ooh, is this architect? This is architect. So domicile buildings are now considerably cheaper. Now, do I want to stay avaricious? Probably, yes. Yes, I think I do. Though planned herd. No. Avaricious is better, but I'm wondering if I want to go for one of the others. Although I'm loving having this 10% extra income, so no, I think Avaricious is going to be our next goal. But we do have sufficient to continue upgrading this, and this is something I've kind of snoozed on a little, which was a bit of a mistake. Oh, can't do that until I have Iron Cavalry. But we are going to be getting Iron Cavalry, so that is going to be possible. We can upgrade you once we have a bit more money. Vassal herd contribution, most importantly the fertility growth. Or we can upgrade this to give our nomadic horde extra damage. Oh no, they already have that. Light cavalry, archer cavalry. Oh, this is the toughness. We get toughness buffs. And also movement speed, 5%. That's quite tempting. Yurt of the Warriors gives me more knights and effectiveness. Small Court Yurt gives me tributary taxes, but we don't have that much of a tributary. Herd capacity? No, I don't need the capacity. We have 10,000 already. Renown, nice, but not really critical. The Ovo Mound would be nice. Control growth, plague resistance, and income from herd. Barter stalls I can't do because we don't board a non-nomadic. So I'm thinking let's upgrade the Square of Karash. Though this does cost me 400 of my herd. Worth it. And it's going to be done in just no freaking time. Because I'm apparently really good at building things now. Lively livestock. As additional payment in a recent trade, I found myself in possession of a large herd of livestock. I have a pretty good opportunity to turn that into a large herd, which gives me 20% more county fertility. Yeah, for 15 years. And development's actually growing here quite nicely. And control has been increased. So we're really maximizing what we can get out of this place, but the fertility is down to just 13. So next time it's going to be abundant grazing here. Kaldzud or Haravastenzud in the center. Abundant wide. I was almost tempted to stay here so we have the abundant grazing. Meanwhile, 3 more years until we can hybridize. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Tributary and badly dated. Yes, because they got gobbled up by the Khazars. I like how the Khazars, I'm going to be speaking way too soon here, haven't gone for me yet. Probably because they're like, oh god, I remember fighting that family. No, not again. I know it's a long way off, but making goal of the Philippines, making a staging area to raid East Asia would be perfect. Yeah, that is the kind of thing I'm planning to do. Like, we'll go up into northeast Siberia, the bit above Manchuria, and then probably either into Japan or bypass Japan to the Philippines. We'll do something around there. I don't think I'm going to go into China, but we can certainly fight against China. Particularly because we'll be able to raid again if we take the pirates cultural thing from Jurchen. What's the river situation? Oh yeah, there are some nice rivers here in China too. And this would make an exceptional base. Unfortunately, it does seem to be unifying at the moment. Alright, 2 more years. Oh, one thing we could be doing is going hunting. Is there really a reason to do that, or is it just a waste of herd? We don't have the upgrade. No, we don't. That's fine. We're almost at 1,000 again. That's good. And the domicile buildings are giving us a very solid income. Now, do I need to be level 3 dominance to upgrade my building again? Probably. Yes. That would cost 1,000 herd too. see. Ooh, storage would be quite nice if we actually managed to get to the opportunity of raiding once more. Oh, that's true. Yeah, those are probably tributaries. You're not wrong. Defender of the Faith. There was a commotion amongst the children today. Irsel was attempting to preach amongst her fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Bjorg was furious. Anyone could target anyone attempting to speak on behalf of Sif and chased away the other children. So Bjorg can be a zealot, you can be brave, or you can be calm. As much as I do like zealous, brave is even better. Brave is like the best virtue for Orsatru to have. Okay, now it might be time for a hunt. Though it's January, so maybe not now, but soon. We have over 1,000. How much would my army cost if we had everything raised? Just out of interest. 2.4. 3. It would cost me 3 a month. So we definitely do want to keep a bit of a pool of money so we don't run out. How do you like playing Nomad? I've never done it in this game. It's slower than I expected it to be. It's a lot more passive. Like, I was expecting Nomad to be raids and counter raids and constantly stealing other people's herds, but because everything confederates to the level it does, it just doesn't happen. It's too dangerous. Herds are too expensive. And the standing armies are just way too big generally, although looking at these guys are all quite small. Well, these are my tributaries at the moment. I could go after Guy of the Mordvins. I have a bigger army than they do. They do have a decent herd. Religious head established. Orthodox clergy proclaimed Patriarch Georgios the head of faith. Fair enough. Gudmundur can have a teacher. Are you learning? You are learning. I will teach you better learning. Savaka. Oh, she's not very well. That's not good. Savaka's my astrologer, learning person, court chaplain. Do I have a court chaplain? I think I do, actually. I don't. I'm a spy master. And physician. Stargazer and physician. Oh, I can have a siege engineer now. I mean, Fortify Lance is really nice, but it would cost me 0.2, basically. And you have good aptitude, so you would get, I think, +2 fort level. So then at that point, my fort here would be level 6. A regular step fortress. But then if we keep you on, just build siege equipment. In fact, we don't even need to do either of those. Just hiring you cost anything? Prestige. Prestige is fun. This is also prestige. Herd. Monthly income from herd. That's converting prestige into money. Do it. Or an emissary. Tributary taxes. What am I making from tributaries? Nothing. Okay, those are some quite nice upgrades. Now I'm earning 2 ducats a month, so I can almost afford to maintain my army in the field indefinitely. Almost. I can probably also stop doing this. We're no longer rivals. It's fine. 1105. 15 months. 16 months. Why'd that go up? It's still more than a year away. We must have expanded as a culture. I'm the dynasty head. Oh, hell yeah. Really? Why? I'm way down here. Moyan position vacated. What was the Moyan? Oh, the general. Well, we have an excellent candidate, so we'll bring him back instead. Nest sighting. On the way back to camp, I spot a small nest. Although no bird is in sight, it's made of twigs and grass and seems to be in good condition. On closer inspection, there are 2 baby eaglets inside, big enough to survive without their mother for some time. Good eagle is worth the trek. Worth the trek. The eaglets become restless. Their departure from the nest will be with me or another predator. Trailing the nest, my descent is slow and careful. These eaglets are still too young to fly far out, but not too young to be dangerous. My foot slips on some grass, but I manage to hang on. An eaglet notices my struggle and begins to squawk, startling itself and flying away. Scatter, though I fail to retrieve both. One is better than turning up empty-handed. It's beautiful, and it's mine. Again, a hunting eagle. I am definitely taking a hunting eagle. And we're going to call you Zephyr. Okay, now I really need to start doing some falconry. Falconry success chance plus 10. I do have a bunch of stress, so yeah. It's May. Seems like a good time to do this. Alright, let's do it. Let's go and do some falconry. I haven't done this before. Fun. Oh, heron sightings too. Sweet. And we are doing this for recreation to reduce stress. Yes. Oh, I meant to increase the size. Maybe. I'll be hosting a hunt in the steppe, Viking augurs, and time has come for us to depart. Right. We await the arrival of the rest of my guests. My servants can get started on the preparations. The master of the chase checks the grasslands every day for signs of quarry, while establishing a camp closer to the hunting grounds. There are herons close. I can feel it. And everyone's here. Chilbook assembles a party as the sun rises over the camp of the steppe near Kaganskoy. With any luck, we'll find a wedge of swans, and our hawks will have great sport. Seek to hawk a swan. Go for a bustard. Or a hare. I'm not really doing this for the prestige, so let's go for the swan. Sure. Sonomez of Uskid Oigurs has been admiring my bird since we parted for a hunt, and I can hardly blame him. Such a magnificent and beautiful beast it is. As we're near a small river, rich and busy with fish of generous size, I can feel this is the perfect opportunity to show what the hawk can do. My falconry skills will impress. I lose 41 stress. Okay, that's my stress just gone. Success. No, not entirely gone. I've always enjoyed this part of the grassland, Beg Sonmez observes as we march together. My father used to bring us here to hunt. Before I even have time to reply, a buzzard comes driving at him, screeching like a newborn baby. Help! He yells. Time to shine. Pew pew. My Kurultai, member Chilbuk signals to the party to hush. We've arrived at the release spot set out by the Game Masters. There is a clear line of sight to the wedge of white swans, watering themselves in the pond up ahead. The beaters will soon be in position, ready to spook the game to flight. The party halts as we prepare to remove our bird's hood and set them, one by one, to their sport. Falcon going for a swan. Swans are freaking huge. I pause to quaff from my water skin, savouring some cool relief from this sweat and havoc of the chase. As I secure it to my side, I hear a low whistling noise. An arrow slams into the dirt at my feet, burying itself deeply in the ground. Oi, careful. Oh yes, he is still trying to kill me, probably. I watch excitedly as my hawk identifies a target and takes wing from its watch, soaring high into the air. The beaters have scattered to the calling of white swans, who now fill the air with their flapping clamour. It swoops like a bolt of lightning, the audible thunder of the impact reaching us a moment later as the quarry falls from the sky. Yes! Success. Gain wanderer, gain horse. Hunts like these are a pure joy. I cannot wait for next year. It's a shame we have to head back so soon. I could do this all day. The birds need their rest, though. Chilbuk gathers the brace of birds that felled by the hawks, a bounty of game and a measure of good training of our birds. My hawk happily eats morsels of meat, rewards for the great performance during this day before we depart for camp and home. So I can keep a feather, or I can give it to Sten. Lose 108 stress. Nice. And we could do another feast, but at the moment I don't think that's worth the cost. And we gain a bunch of experience in falconry. Finish. And I have a perk in stewarding, so let's go for golden obligation, so I can convert hooks into money. And we may as well display our new feather. All of my stuff is just the outcome of hunting. Come on! I'm going to be so annoyed if the Khazars come after me before then. First of the Pesheng retainers needs a worthy successor. Ah, there's these guys. Oh, they need a better name. They're not the Pesheng retainers, they are the... These are vanguards and hunt masters. I don't remember them being hunt masters. Maybe I did do that. Right, because I wanted the second accolade to be the cavalry one. So vanguard is primarily about having the vanguard retinue. So these are the bodyguards. These are the Huskarls. Anyway, you need a successor. There are no eligible successors. Amazing. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm still facing a chaotic succession for some reason. Still says I have a disobedient Kulatai, but I just don't. Unless they're secretly disobedient, which I guess could happen. Ah, fertility has actually increased to 17. It was 12. That's still kind of the minimum. Aslaug. Good. We have lots of money again. I think it's probably time for me to grab a Huskar. Or better yet, what does level 3 of this give? Army movement speed is then 20. Nomadic horde damage goes up to 20%. It does cost me 500 herd, however, but at least I'm staying above 2,000. Yeah, let's do that. It takes less than a month to build. Acquired the Viking Dynasty banner! I didn't. Oh, wait. Court artifact, yes I did. Make sure that's repaired. I don't want to lose it. There we go. The square of Jaghun is now done. Khatun Sara. Yep, we have a new Khazar person. I'm hoping to move away from you, but also I should probably attend this. Fine. Wait, before I leave. 5 months. Let's go on the coronation. I did not check danger levels. That was probably dangerous. And I don't have a caravan master. How about we go back to a previous save? Because I do not want to die on this journey. That was just me being impatient. I should still be constructing the thingamablobby. It's been a while since played CK3. Have they added proper horde mechanics now? Yeah. And we are playing as one, although a very, very, very small one. Right, did we build the thingamablob? We did. It's ready, the square of Jakun. Good. And the coronation invite has not yet arrived. Mutlu just died. I gained some stress. Oh, there it is. Yes, so we're going to join your coronation. We're going to hire a caravan master right now, because I didn't realise we didn't have one. And this journey is going to require going over some steps, so I think we should probably get a desert warrior. Those percentages are far more acceptable. I can restore accolades. Ah, okay, so the Accolade Knight died. So these are in here, aren't they? And I have nobody who is a Vanguard. Because that's creating one. I don't want to create one, I want to restore it because it will already have gained experience. I kind of wish that would... Oh, here we go. Inactive. And it's currently called the First of the Pesheng Retainers, which is a little annoying because we just renamed that. So we did apparently forget to do something. But this is still only rank 1. It only has 162 glory. It's not that high. But that would strongly suggest that we don't have anybody who's a Vanguard. Which is what we're ultimately after. Although, the majority of our army are horse archers at the moment. Outrider. Outrider's the one that gives us the specially light cavalry unit. Although it doesn't say that here. There, now it does. But these are specifically good in plains and dry lands, not in steppe. So I think I'm just going to not use the accolade for the moment. Particularly because I do not currently have money to actually hire anyone. Once we get to maybe 100, then I'll put out a call. Power sharing. How about you get me some money? That seems like a good plan. So while I'm away on the Regency, give me some cash. Did my son die? No. The old Dala has taken over as the dynasty head. That is unfortunate. Homeward bound. After a long day of travel, the horizon starts to bleed into warm colours. I take a moment to pause. Homeward? Careful, my caravan leader Tuznik screams, pointing at the steppe beyond the path we follow. What looks like a small rodent is running into the wild. My pet? I have a pet rodent? I'm guessing it actually means the eagle. Oh, because the eagle goes after the rodent, I guess. He has a 57 chance of being wounded. This is a 95%, although I do stress out a bit. Where am I? I'm still up here. I am still on the way, so I don't know why it was saying on our way home. Mordvinian culture has embraced forest folk tradition. Save! I don't know if I can do this while I'm away. But I would very much like to create this new culture. So form hybrid culture. Here we go. So we're going to stay North Germanic. We're going to continue speaking Norse. Unfortunately, we are still martial custom men only. It's a little annoying, so I would like to change that. I do have a lot of prestige. Hold your horses. If I change that, it's not a diverge, it's a different thing. Maybe it has to be present when I do it. Because I could have sworn there was a thing that was not diverge culture, because I know that diverge culture costs prestige. But that is something... it has to be 100 years old. So if I waited another like 46 years, then we could diverge. But no, we're not doing that. We are going to hybridize with Pogos. So Stoic gives disease resistance, stress gain resistance, hurt gain increase, friendly casualties reduction, defender holding advantage. Bellicose gives more prowess, men at arms are cheaper, and herd convert into horde riders. I still prefer Stoic out of these, and then traditions. So let's just go ahead and unselect all of the traditions so far. We can pick 6. So Iron Cavalry we definitely want. Because that allows us to get Cataphract Archers. We'll also increase the toughness of Light, Heavy and Archer Cavalry. But it does mean that our horde will be smaller. But I'm kind of okay with that. Devoted horsemanship can always build horse herds in holdings of this culture, can become adventurer decision. Avaricious architect administrator provide bonuses to light cavalry, heavy cavalry, and archer cavalry men at arms, and this would allow me to recruit Tarkans, who are heavy cavalry, anti-heavy infantry, anti-heavy cavalry, and anti-handgun. And they are good in deserts, dry lands, and oasis. That does not help me at all. So probably not that. Northern Stories, I've honestly just not been using, so I'm okay dropping that one. Performative Honor. More Knights, Accolade Glory goes up, and we can make Shield Maidens, which are really good. Coastal Warriors, we can recruit Bondi Vigman, Varangians, and Huskarls. That's a must-have. Warrior Culture, Strong and Hale are seen as prestigious, Strong is more common. Weak traits such as weak and delicate are looked down upon. Children more likely to be rowdy, less likely to be pensive. Men-at-Arms regiments can be bigger. Cultural Fascination is slower. I don't want it for that reason alone. Forest Folk we want to keep because I'm planning to move into the woods. Ruling Caste. Different culture, peasant factions and populous factions are less common. Convert to local culture decision is more expensive. Rulers will seldom use promote culture councillor task. Cultural acceptance gain reduced. Nah. Swords for hire. Wanderers gain extra skills over time, such as martial prowess or commander traits. Knights and mercenary courts rapidly gain prowess. Idle courtiers are more likely to become wanderers. Unlocks the offer military assistance interaction. Allows become adventurer decision. Characters are much more likely to become adventurers. So maybe. Malleable invaders. Creating a hybrid culture requires 50% less cultural acceptance. Yes. Winter Warriors. Winter Soldier commander traits more common. Some commander personality traits have extra winter bonuses. Gain a decision to recruit winter commanders. Tiger danger -19. We already have the danger reduction from this, -37. So I don't think that that really gains me anything. So Performative Honor. Or Swords for Hire. Swords for Hire allowing adventurers I think is really good. But I think this does too. Yeah, Coastal Warriors also allows adventurers. So characters are much more likely to become adventurers. If they're Swords for Hire as well, are they even more likely to become adventurers? You don't need Coastal Warriors while on the steppe. No, but I... Yes, I do, because this allows me to get Huskarls. And I want to keep the Huskarls. So we can get 2 more. I'm thinking Swords for Hire and Performative Honor. Although I do like the idea of the faster movement. And movement over land while raiding. Devoted Horsemanship could be good for us. Performative Honor, I think we need until we can get Equal Martial. Once we have Equal Martial, this is completely irrelevant. But that's not going to be for another 100 years, at least. Devoted Horsemanship and Performative Honor sounds like a good combo. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that this one is less interesting for us. So we really are becoming horse Vikings. I mean, it makes sense. And what do we want to call ourselves? Let's give ourselves... We're going on land. Let's go kind of more of a bluey-green colour. Steppe Viking? I do like Steppe Viking, but Steppe Viking is also our... Is it the family name? Yes. I don't want to have the same name as the family. So... We've gone from Norse to Mordvinian to... Moigur? As it would be a mixture of Oghuz. Moghuz. I'm stuck. Help me, step Viking. Terrible. What's the duchy you're in currently? Orenburg. Yeah, but I don't think that that's so important for our thing. The more important is steppe culture. I do kind of like... Oh! There's... What we started as. It's what we are. Yeah, I think this makes the most sense. We're just the steppe Norse now. Aesthetics. Norse. I'm going to keep the Norse names. Norse architecture. Mordvinian... Oh, these are more difficult, actually. Naming practices. We do have a lot of people in our family who now have Turkish names. Although we can still get that from marrying into them. The first names, I think, are going to still be Norse. Architecture is going to be Norse. Fashion? We could use both. It makes less sense to be so heavily clothed in the steppe. We're still speaking Norse, yes we are. And the coat of arms patterns, I think, should be both. Okay, I think we're good. So Norse first names, Norse architecture, clothing from both. So we're now going to be Norse, Northern European, and Turkic. We're just collecting clothing. And we are the steppe Norse. 263 culture, that's really cheap. But we're overlapping a lot of traditions. Ah, that's why the cost is so much lower. Because we're keeping 1, 2... We're actually keeping 2 of them. The others are all the Norse ones. We can have up to 6 traditions, so that's fine. Done. Spurred on by positive relations and increased cultural exchange, the Uyghurs and the Mordvinian peoples have grown increasingly close over the years. Now individuals from these societies have begun to view themselves not as one or the other, but as both simultaneously a new steppe Norse culture. Mordvinian tradition and value from the backbone of this new culture, while various Uyghur attributes have been adapted and integrated to meet the needs of the new society. With steppe Norse people looking to me for guidance, it's time for me to set the stage for our shared future. That does unfortunately mean we're going to be getting fascinations very slowly. So instead of 11 years, well, 31 years is still not terrible. Although, we can't actually build mangonels. Because we're steppe. So horseshoes gives us movement speed. Arch saddles give us armoured horsemen and lancers. Armoured horsemen who are good in plains and dry lands, which are none of the lands around us. And they're good against archers and handgunners, which is kind of irrelevant. So I think horseshoes is actually more useful. That plus 10% army speed in the steppe is going to be fantastic. So let's work on that. See you then, Trinite. Never seen someone who formed a whole hybrid culture in this game. This is the second one we've done. First one was Norse to Mordvinian, and now Mordvinian, or yeah, Norse to Mordvinian, then Mordvinian to Steppe Norse. The one and only culture county in the world, that is Steppe Norse. Beautiful. Meanwhile, we'll continue to the coronation. Songs can make us feel more connected as a people for centuries long after they were written. Others can inspire or bring us solace and sought after respite during hardships. Some are there to invigorate our spirits to keep on fighting. Such songs are hardly forgotten, and they are part of our heritage. An encounter with a singer sitting on top of a rock has reminded me of these things as I am being seduced by their performance. So we can try and sing along, or I can lose a bunch of stress. I mean, we're about to go to a coronation. I think that reducing stress there is gonna happen. But do I really care about learning lifestyle? Actually, yes. Oh, wait, there's one. No, we have 0 in learning. We're just going to enjoy it. Shifting interests as I was watching Bjorg play with other children when Heike tried to push her over. The moment did not last long as Bjorg soon had an entirely new game of it, forgotten the previous game entirely. So fickle or wrathful. Wrathful is virtuitous. Don't let other people walk over you, girl. Upon a white camel in the horizon, a white speck stands out amongst the backdrop of the steppe. As I draw closer, I discern a figure of white camel, his clothes gleaming in the sun. Dozens of sheep cascade from the surface, followed closely behind the camel. A woman suddenly mounts it, and the rider greets me with a warm smile. Peace be upon you, she says. As you can see, Allah has blessed me abundantly. I'm able to bestow this gift upon others. Could I interest you in anything? I mean, gaining 150 herd would be pretty good, though I don't particularly want to spend 50 ducats on this. No, that's not worth it. Teach me of Islam. Local hero. As we traverse the steppe, trudging through the dirt, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Naively carved, it sports a balknut at its head, and below the weathered words, "Here lay Saint Ikale of Tana, best daughter of Tana." Saint Ikale of Tana. It seems a local spiritual figure is being patronised in these parts, one not sanctioned by the Austro elders. Saint Ikale. That's a nice ring to it. 5 ducats? I could spend 5 ducats. Night by the campfire. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing and telling stories and drinking with my personal physician, Savaka, my son-in-law, Tuznik, and my champion, Eifer. I didn't know she had it in her, but Savaka ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants she'd seen in the steppe Viking ogres. I'll tell a story of my own. Savaka's quite old, so I'm not going to try and befriend her at this point. Feeble mounts. We knew that travelling through South Kalka's steppes wouldn't be easy. We march on until night without stop, arriving at our next destination so late that we don't even dine. Our horses neigh, refusing to leave the water whenever we find a stream. Even though they're used to the steppe back home, they are still animals and need their rest. Better horses, more speed and safety. Fine. Man, this is costing me a lot of money. Regent fails to further the mandate. He tried to obtain you gold. He spent 100 piety. Abuse of power caused 10 strife. Okay. That seems like a you problem. Tuznik is in charge of our food supplies and sheepishly revealed our provisions are all now but useless, having been poorly stored. So it's just a bit of mold, 40% chance of being ill. Nature will provide. Well, the locals here have something. We didn't die. It's fine. Everything's fine. I have finally arrived at Kirkinitis for the coronation. Love or hate the Khatun, none can deny the feeling of importance shared between we who stand witness. A new chapter begins today. It's on its way to being respectable. Savaka died. Yeah, we have nobody that can really replace her. Which is particularly problematic for this role. We're going to have to save money and then try to hire somebody. Betrothal. The Khazars want to marry. I mean... You are the second daughter of Tosti. We don't have... She's quite good. Vengeful, brave, and wrathful. She has all three also true, and... But they're also true, so this is good for them. And this, I think, gets me an alliance with the Khazars. Yeah. You were learning, weren't you? No, stewarding. Alright. So what is the point of this culture again? It's the steppe Norse culture. The point of it is, it's the Norse in the middle of the steppe. That's what it does. The gathering is as grand as expected. Faces familiar and foreign mingle, and I hear greetings just warm enough to be polite. When the host speaks, the room quiets out of instinct. My friends, my vassals, my kin, your presence honours me more than any crown would. Until the ceremony begins, eat, drink, speak freely, and know that I see each of you, and I will not forget who stood here with me today. A kind promise or a quiet warning, depending on how one chooses to hear it. So yes, if we wanted to build a new unit, I now have a much bigger selection of unit types. So cataphract archers are one of them. They're good against archer cavalry. Critically important. They are the one unit I've seen in the entire game that is anti-archer cavalry. Big bonus on the steppe, dry lands, plains, and no penalties, importantly, in the woods. Nomad Lancers, who are anti-archer and handgunner. Tarkans, who are anti-heavy infantry, heavy cavalry and handgunner. Heavy horse archers, who are bad in forest and taiga and cold. So yeah, we're going to want some of these. They are not cheap. They are not at all cheap. But I think ultimately what we'll probably do is replace the horse archers with the cataphract archers. The other thing we can now do is build the portable forge. Oh, this only costs 5 ducats? Cheap. Do it. Takes 3 days. Done. It's so nice being an architect. As the light of the day wanes, I see Tiskaya looking in my direction. With an acknowledging nod, she smiles and steps closer. A fine day it's been, would you not say, Bjork? We must certainly thank the Lord for these blessings. We Khazaris revere his teachings, she declares with pride, taking a deep breath before continuing the theological dissertation. 86% chance of success. I don't want to convert to Khazarism, thank you. I lose some stress, I gain some prestige, and the magnificence increases marginally. Yeah, I'm not going to be talking theology with you, plus I want to lose the stress, thanks. Gisef Bjork, Khatun Sara calls me with a big smile. Next to her stands another guest, an Itabar that I'm not acquainted with. This is Itabar Balkan, Khatun Sara introduces him. I believe the two of you would find much in common. Theological treatises, perhaps. Seems polite. Who are you exactly? Yait Kid Khazars. Ducal title. You are also true. Seems nice. There she is. Beg Torgarok points out our host, Khatun Sara, standing alone. Finally. This is our chance, Torgarok insists. We are here to stand witness and support her coronation. It is only fair that we get something in return. So, cultural acceptance, which I don't really need. We've just done that. Piety. Or legitimacy. I don't think I really want to help them consolidate. So we're going to go with the religious option. Accepts the petition. Good. Guests for the coronation are my acquaintance Khatun Sara pouring in, while giving minor oaths. Thanks for the invitations and pledges of fealty or support. Soon it will be my turn. Must I stand out from the crowd? Must I use my brief audience to convince the Khatun of my worthiness? So I can arrange a tithe. Leverage my good name. Viking didn't... I'm not giving you that. I mean, I have a lot of prestige. Good chiefess. I turn around and find Beg Bulkan next to a nervous man. You know that I cherish you and bring you great joy to help you. Here I offer you the first and best of my men, Inzai, my well-accomplished Kurotai member. May this serve as a start of friendship between our houses. That is an epic chin that man has. He's also a giant. Yes, I will accept you. As the Stargazer, no, but we'll take him to the court for sure. All preparations are complete. The great ceremonial assembly now awaits the Kyrgyzstan High Temple. To cheers and exultation, Khatun Sara's procession parts the crowd. My retinue follows in our honorary place. Peasants team forth for a glimpse of the soon-to-be Khatun. Atop their parents' shoulders, amidst the multitude, Khazar children grin. Now we will see the measure of this Khatun. We've made it a grand coronation now. I am proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. Always the clever one, Prekir proved time and time again over the course of his studies he had a natural affinity for careful planning, and more than a little misdirection. He now knows a lot of ways to get what he wants. Most importantly, he is highly aware of the political implications of those wants. Intricate web weaver. Ooh, level 3. Okay. Until the Hofgardai, the Khazar nobility and the common people have all acted their customary parts, Sara is no true Khatun. Her rule cannot be just without their acceptance of it. First, the Godar. Theirs is the call for the Khatun to honour the holy rites, to defend the faithful. Sara assents, and then the elders of the Kyrgyzstan stare at the Khatun in awe, as the masses outside exalt her Kaganal name. Sarah's vassals stalk forward darkly, most of them hardly bother with the words of loyalty amidst their gestures of hate. The ceremony continues. Okay, so before the gods, she's good. Before her nobles, not so much. At Khatun, when she is clothed in ceremony and armed to the assent of the people, may crown herself. That is our way, though some Hofgod envy this Kaganal right. Yet the Godar seem willing to accept it. Perhaps some ruler of the heroic sagas once did the same, gripping the bejeweled metal band between their fingers. Zara utters an address to call the Karganate. She promises her vigil, her justice, her strength, and she crowns herself the master of the Khazars. The Khatun proudly approaches her sovereign throne. She placed it and she shall wear it. With the rites of the Khatun's enthroning complete, the most senior of the Kaganal consorts is now to be proper instigated as Kagan. Khatun Sara's husband conducts the rituals with distinctive restraint. His Uygur's upbringing did little to prepare him for the Khazar rites amongst the austere prayers. He recites Arabic oaths from memory of their sounds alone. Before long, and with great ceremony, Dennismen's crown is laid upon his head for the first time. The Khazars acclaim their Kurgan. So he's Uygurs. Acceptance, 72%. Well, we did hybridize off of them, so it's not surprising. Gained 1,000 prestige. I think he did a lot better out of this than she did. Zara stands by herself in front of the crowd as all await her oath. For too long, lands that belong to the Khazars have suffered the rule of these lesser hands. Of those who mistook possession for legitimacy, that ends now. From its ill, they will know true governance by me. The formalities have ended, and with them the stillness that held the gathering in place. A few murmurs rise as the host stands again, this time to mark the end of the ceremony and the start of something more relaxed. The Khatun raises her voice, just enough to carry. My friends, the rites are complete. Let the tables be filled, let the cups be raised, and let this hall remember joy as well as duty. The words are well received, and with every passing moment, the communal gathering becomes more of a lively celebration. The ceremony is done. I heard it brings in a band of horses, their coats shining in the moonlight. Guests gather round, admiring the animals. Khatun Sara of the Khazars excitedly rushes to mount a horse, with Yugbu Kurboga of the Uygurs following suit. It's me against you, Sara, Koba calls out. Sara chuckles in response. Let us not be hasty, Koboga. We must save our energy for the race. Koboga nods in agreement. Would anyone else like to join us, or perhaps place a bet? Or I can join in myself. I'm getting kind of old now, though my prowess is dropping. What about the new queen? Or the new empress, technically. The riders are ready and the crowd is eager to see the results. Khatun Sara, the Khazars, and Yugbu Kurboga of the Uygurs are prepared. And the other guests are ready to spectate. I climb onto a nearby horse and slowly trot to a hill, securing a better view of the race trail. They're off, and the guests cheer as they gallop through the steppe. Fine riders. Sara and Koboga are neck and neck, and the crowd is on the edge of their seats. The riders are close to the finish line, and the guests are cheering them on. Khatun Sara, the Khazars, and Koboga slowly accelerates. The winner is unclear. Suddenly, Sara pulls ahead and crosses the finish line first. The crowd erupts in excitement. What a show! I also won my bet. My lady, starts Begum Nekka of the Yekjurkid Khazars, a distinct odour following her to my table. You must meet this most interesting man. She's brought wondrously floral cakes of hashish. Could it hurt? I am not a hashisha. I'm good. Enjoy. This man has an epic beard. Oh, that's the sun. That's my next character. Excellent. A swarm of guests gravitate towards a yurt in the distance with talk of a performance amongst the crowd. I follow the commotion and watch all eyes turn to Itabar Otemis of Bastu Khazars. The Bastu Khazars. Bastu being Swedish for sauna. So Itabar Artemis of the Sauna Khazars. He erupts in song, singing a magical horse who grants blessings to its rider. The sound resembles a deep guttural growl, like the rumble of storm or the growl of a bear. Beg Kadak of Karabid Khazars turns to me and whispers, "His Kajara is quite impressive, don't you think?" I watch as he finishes the first tune and the crowd applauds. You learn the Kargrak throat singing style. Oh, we're definitely doing that. Aww. I gained some learning though. I spot Naka from afar and find myself gazing in her eloquent garment. She is adorned in beautiful white silk dale decorated with soft feathers. Naka approaches me and she drunkenly smiles. "Ah, Bjorg, I see you have peace in your heart this evening." I nod in agreement and ponder what to say next. So I can compliment her attire, or I'll take my leave. Oh, compliment. From across the field I spot a magnificent horse. Her coat is white as the moon. She is a beauty, rivaling even the prettiest maidens with a long flowing mane and eyes bright as the stars. The rider, Itabar Dundar of the Batteryid Uyghurs, notices my gawking. "I see you have a good eye," Dundar says. "You take her for a short ride if you wish, but be careful. She's a wild one." Sure, just a short ride. We'll go for a ride. Dynasty Head changed. Emperor Vladimir replaced me as Dynasty Head. We were relatively close for another upgrade. But hey! Third Emperor! The Vikings have now had 3 Byzantine Emperors. Unconcerned with my etiquette, Naka Yenjepi, a noblewoman from the Khazars, slaps me in the back. "I mean it! I'll do anything you ask of me. Anything at all. Ask." And it is done. I can smell the alcohol on her breath, but the promise has been duly noted. I'll take the weak hook. Because I have golden obligations. I have worked tirelessly to promote the glory, to foster the grandness of my coronation. The guests are flushed with the inspiration of what they witnessed here, radiating admiration. It was a fitting start to her reign, not my reign. Hold on. Alright, so I want to... I'm on 19 of the 50. I'm probably going to be too far out of range. So we'll get you the 19. We'll get the 19 from you. Thank you. And then we'll head home. Lord Bear, Tuznik is in charge of our food supplies. Again! Dude! Get better at storing your supplies. I think it was in the same place as well. I think it was when we were passing through the swamp. But anyway, we have now, I think, achieved everything that I wanted to achieve here. So I think we're about ready to move on to more fertile pastures. Trailside Bond. While travelling a challenging path in Siathetepe, I hear laughter ahead. My champion Eifer and my son-in-law Tuznik are working together to cross a rapid seasonal river. Alpha, your idea to build a makeshift bridge was brilliant. And your quick thinking of the animal hides tied it all together. It seems the obstacle has led to a new friendship. Good. Don't know if you've tried Prince of Darkness. It was a really cool overhaul mod for CK3. That's the one that's vampires, right? You had a child being schooled by the seer. I think that's already been dealt with. Can make all fielder a shield maiden. Please do. And you need teaching. You are currently looking at stewardship. I meant. What I meant was this. Could also do military, but no, stewarding is definitely the one that you want. So who's the best steward to teach you? Tuznik. And we're home after almost 2 years. How much do I have in Traveller now? Maxed out seasoned. I still don't have Wanderer. That's interesting. And I need a new councillor. This was one of the diplomat positions. Although, honestly, bringing Tuznik in as the steward and having him manage the fertility instead is probably the better idea. So if you do, whoops, that, and you do that. What's the other one? Oh, exploit the lands. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Then hopefully the base level fertility would rise to 18. Okay, well, we're back. 2 members of family can get married. 2. Rekia. You are my sneaky, stabby. Sigma might work. There's someone who's patient. You're only 13 so far, but you already have 11 stewarding and 10 learning. But you're not very good at the sneaky stuff. No, Sirima is definitely the best candidate here. Then Ulfhildr also needs to marry. And you are a fighter through and through. And you're a shield maiden as well. Vakrim Kula. Plus 4 cynical but just. Koza is hale, at least. Quite good at diplomacy. Not terrible at the other things. I think Koza, and yes, this will also be matrilineal. I still need to have a personal physician. Now that I have 58 ducats, I might be able to afford somebody better. So let's go ahead and... what's best to do? Court position. We are specifically trying to get a physician. Right, I think it is time for us to start moving. It is currently abundant grazing in the Great Steppe. I don't have a Stargazer, so I can't see what it's going to be next, but I think it was going to be a White Zud, unfortunately. So we're going from kind of bad prosperity to kind of bad prosperity, but at least at the moment it should be higher. but it doesn't really look that way. World of Darkness, you don't have to be a vampire in it. It can be Fey, Inquisition, or even an Egyptian mummy come to life. Oh, interesting. Which DLC added nomad mechanics constant step? Yes. And Albabasha, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you joining us. The Kingdom of Sibir. You have 1,000 troops. Kind of troops. 200 Matakaran warriors. Archers. Who are very good in Tiger. Ah, but you also have quite a few allies. With pikemen. But pikemen are not good against horse archers. But you have even more of those Matakaran warriors. Kind of depends on how far I'm going to be able to get, because I don't think I'm going to be able to settle in here. Well, maybe I can settle in this area? Hills, that's where I'm worst. I'd rather be just in the steppe in that case. So I can get up to... Oh, right, they're not considered in the steppe. $2,300 troops. Yeah, that's not going to work. And we realised last time that the ones without the frilly bits are the herders. They're usually the easier ones to move in on. Of course, I'm not seeing any herders right now. That is apparently one of the issues with the game, is as it goes further and further, herders become more and more rare. As they basically just get completely usurped by the nomads. I'm literally seeing no herders. Huh. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this, because my army is still kind of small. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is wait until I have a Stargazer so I can make a decent decision about where I want to move. Cadet Branch of Dover. Okay, core positions. We have Sif, Heriolfr, Sif or Heriolfr. So Sif is 35, Heriolfr is 21. He is a novice physician, 16 learning, 16 learning. She's already a physician. So he does have more opportunity for growth. Although he's only a conscientious scribe, which is not great. I think it's got to be Sif. Should also get you married. Is there anyone to marry you to, Gudmundur? Are you the one learning? You are. No, that makes no sense. She's too old. And spouse is what I really meant to do. And we definitely want to double down on your learning ability here. And you don't particularly care about that. Cardaz is level 4 Mastermind Philosopher. So he's probably going to have more learning than she does. So this is a very sneaky way of getting someone who's actually more learned. And as such, I love it. Matrilineal, so he's going to join us. Welcome to the team! And then Courtiers I can change to him. Her aptitude is good. Oh, because she's a physician. Right, but I can get around that by giving him the physician skill. So we're going to replace you. We're going to have you improving skills, which has you learn physician skill over time. We're going to make you the Stargazer as well. We're going to make Anandar. No, I'm not going to make Anandar the Caravan Master. I don't really need one right now. Okay, good. So he will improve over time. Sorry, Sif. I feel kind of bad, but also that was kind of ingenious. Arrange betrothal. So, migrations. Well, before I do that, let's check this. Yeah, you're not as good at stargazing as the previous one. So I think that the White Zerd was significantly more likely. We kind of want to get to the east if we can. The thing is, the spot we're in now is not terrible. And I would lose my tributes if I move. Which is not ideal. The best place to go would be down here, but then I am up against the Shupek Confederation. Everyone's kind of forming large power blocks. Not very nomadic. That's a big HRE. They also got Denmark. Karelia still there? Yes. Good. Iceland's still also true? Oh, Iceland's still Norse, rather? Yes. One little, don't know, two little holdouts here. Though we have some Norse in the north now, that's kind of cool. Calder and Scott. Ha! Taking over the Dutch. Interesting. Okay, so where do we go? And how do we get there? I mean, Kosh Korbe would be the best spot to go to. Could potentially move there. Fertility is only 15, but I do believe that that is forest. Yes. So it's super defensible for me. And it does kind of achieve my objective. And then if I can do this peacefully, like giving you some herd, well, I'd like to know how much. 300. That's fine. Let's keep looking around, see if there's any other locations I can get to. Short answer. Was it? So we would be moving to Vargashi. Who is actually an independent ruler outside of the Kuman Federation. That's why I'm able to get to there. If it works, it works. So I'll offer you 300 herd. Off we go. The whole camp sounds like a roaring waterfall. Kids running around, animals protesting and grunting, adults finishing the packing up. Dozens and dozens of memories untidily organized in bundles and cranes. I take a last look at Yildibash Bay Evo as I tap my horse on the side. I can only hope that Vargashi is as nice to us as this place was. It was a good spot. It was definitely a good spot. Passing like fire. My people's outriders spread far beyond our herds and wagons, prowl like passing lands. The passing lands like panthers. The locals loosed the first arrow at us, reports my chief outrider Heike. But with fire and sword we made them rue it. We'll bring you all the spoils of their camp, and this renowned Saiga hide. Return the spoils. I'm too bloody honest. Or I can do this, actually. Every champion gains opinion and prowess. It's only 8 stress. I claim the spoils. And then I can probably drop... actually, my full fangs are probably better. Oh, it's a court artifact anyway. Can't even use it. Awesome! A master for shepherds? Yali Butak, they call this place, spits my son Harika. It's flocks of sheep. Who protects them? A dog and some little man called Shepherd Boru. A few horses, a few good riders. Boru's neck between my fingers. The hills could be mine. Harika eyes some passing goats covetously and awaits his mother's blessing. So Harika sets himself up here. I mean, it's a way of spreading the culture, which I would quite like to do. The cloudless sky is about to turn red as we arrive in Yali Butak, the colour of a fresh wound. These lands pay diligent tribute to Yaku Togli, Beg Sokal warns us. I didn't expect he will tolerate otherwise. Dry yellowish pasture, dries as the sun bleeds. Would not be easy, but an easy life never made a valuable warrior. So we can pay tribute to this guy. He is a king with probably a very large army. No, he's only got 800. You would be fighting me in the woods. Let's see if he actually tries to come after me. It's a bit risky. Especially as I have basically no money at the moment. And most of my army are still horse archers. But we have a lot of holding buffs. Alright, well, we're here now. Fertility will rise to 18, so it's one better than my old spot. However, we are now in the woods, and I think that lets me focus on what kind of herd I want, which is reindeer. Fertility, growth, and tiger and forest. Let's get reindeer herd. It takes me 3 days to get. Can also get manure storage, which give even more. Or herd gain, there's its shelter. Let's do that. Culture head. Yes. Oh right, where did my son end up? There. Well, good luck. So now my herd is absolutely tiny. My army has taken a beating because it's a portion of the size of that. My legitimacy has gone down from 5 to 3. We have some work to do to rebuild this place. Lack of tools. Oh, and we're also going to need to fix the control here. Yeah, we can do this. The latest migration to Valgashi has taken a toll on my people, and they are lacking many of the basic tools they use every day. It is slowing down even the most simple of tasks. Without a trader who can bring us the wares we need, my people will continue to suffer. So I can spend 15 ducats, I can spend prestige, of which we have a lot. Let's do that. Let's also double check control. We're at 75, it's not terrible. What we can do is we can have you increasing control, which you're actually doing already. And we can have you increasing control. So we should get that done pretty quickly. Aren't you supposed to be managing fertility at this place? Thank you. Ah, now it goes up to 22. That's actually an increase of 5. So this place is better than where we just were. They may stop paying me, but that's fine. Ah, yes, I can station. Ah, that's a good question. 14 and 6. Or 16 and 6. So the Huskarls would do better here. But I think I'm still going to station the horse archers. No, because their damage will go up to 54. Which is definitely better than theirs. Although, interestingly, their toughness is higher. Right, because the Iron Cavalry upgrades. Really need to get some Cataphract Archers. We can have up to 3 units of men-at-arms now too. Because we upgraded the square. Well, because there are 4 times more horse archers, we're going to station them here. It just makes more sense for that many more troops. But in the future, we need to recruit more Huskars, and maybe we put them in there instead. Tributaries invalidated. That's fine. As control goes up, our income here should go up. Fertility will rise to 22, so that will also increase our income and everything. And then the herd size can hopefully start growing. The other thing I'd kind of like to do would be raid people. But we're right next to a confederation, so that's probably not the best idea. How do I join your confederation? Let's do this. Although you're still incredibly weak. Yeah, so one thing I should do is stop doing tribute to you. It makes no sense for me to be doing that. Which is also going to increase the size of my herd growth and everything. Call for confederation. We're taking a little bit of a risk. And we're likely to be raided. That goes all of my tributary payers. Queen Uskbar's coronation in Sibir. That's you. Do I really want to make friends with the one that I'm probably going to end up raiding? Nah. The hardest part of ruling. By their very nature, ting meets can often be extremely boring. If tempers don't flare and no one gets dramatic, then it's just a long list of low-ranking freemen discussing petty affairs and standing out in the rain. Yet, as High Chiefess, I am required to be here, growing older every second, watching the men of the Steppenwolves talk each other to death, wishing for a war to save me from this living hell. Must stay awake. I am kind of wondering, actually, if becoming a tributary to him would be a good thing, and whether that would allow me to move more freely within the Human Confederation. I don't know. Maybe? Because at the moment, if I try to migrate anywhere... How was I getting that? It was by clicking, wasn't it? I get the will not accept belongs to Confederation, but if we're in the same Confederation, would that change matters? I legitimately don't know. So there's one way of finding out, and that's to try it. So let's try it. So, if I join your confederation, now would I need to do this? What is the difference between a confederation vassal and a non-confederation vassal? Let's actually just look that up. C, A3, confederation. Confederations are a defensive pact that duchies counties can create to face off against powerful neighbours. When someone declares war against one of the members of the Confederation, every member joins as an ally. Confederations can evolve into titular kingdom title or dissolve over time. The leader of a confederation can eventually elevate confederation to become a king or a queen. Alternatively, they can elect to have the players may elect to leave the confederation at any time using the abandoned confederation decision. Defensive pacts cannot be made by anyone. The requirements must be met. You must be tribal or nomadic, must only hold county or duchy, must be independent, may not be a tributary. Authority, law, or dominance not be above level 2. Diplomat, patriarch, a powerful enemy in your borders must not have left a confederation in the last 5 years. So I think you're not truly a vassal. I think this is how you join the confederation, because he only leads a confederation. So I'm now in it. Vassals cannot migrate. Well, that wasn't a confederation, was it? Because one of the options here should be leave confederation. But I'm not seeing that. So how do you join a confederation? Oh, I think you have to be invited. Because Confederation is definitely different from Tributary. Confederation, you don't need to pay anything back, you just join them in defensive wars, which I'm completely fine to do. I'd much rather do that than give up a proportion of my stuff. Looks like it might be instead of the form alliance option. Okay. Then I guess I just stay here and hope nothing bad happens. For now. Oh, who's these guys? 13,000 troops! No wonder you're independent. You feudal? No, you're still tribal. I'm adjacent to a non-nomad. Cloud ladders? What are those? Hinged folding ladder with simple pulling mechanism to unfold once they reach enemy walls. That's ingenious. How have I not heard of that before? Active up to port level 10. Ah, but they may not have access to those siege engines. I still have the torchbearers anyway. Well, still opportunities to raid. The leftovers. Seemingly, we've come upon the remains of a previous group of people in the area. There's a flock of beasts as well as broken yurts around the new camp in Vargashi. Ooh, nice. As I pass through the forests around Shushushie, I come across the semi-tame flock that has been observed several times. Even approaching them, it's clear that they have interacted with people before. If they are left to themselves, they will continue to graze in lands that could have been used for our herd. Should I bring them back to Vargashi or handle them in other ways? What is the best solution for our people? No, I want them. Give me herd. Fertility will grow anyway. And control here is now maximized. Cool. So we are now in the central steppe. It is currently abundant grazing. So fertility growth, 25%. Demand herd character interaction result in additional herds, and vassal opinion goes up. Men-at-Arms maintenance goes down by 20%. That's quite nice. And hunts are 50% cheaper. Oh. Right, because all the hunts I've done previously were in the middle of winter, effectively. So, my domain, domicile income. I do get a lot of money from the domicile. I have no vassals, so that's irrelevant. Yeah, it's got to be this. Okay. And you are now supporting the herders again. That's perfect. Ah, we have several people who are disobedient. Oh, the obedience levels have gone up. Right, because in here... one of these modifiers was increasing obedience, though I'm not seeing that now. But we would have a very chaotic... Why has that changed so significantly? How have I lost your opinion? Oh! Short rain penalties kicked in. Oh, that sucks. Because I'm now technically in a new county. I don't have the long rain. Even though nothing has actually changed, only the location. That's a bit of a weird one. Because we're still the Steppenwolves. That is very frustrating, actually. Right, start swaying. And courtiers, you don't need to do that anymore. Do this. Confederation. To the thoughtful High Chiefess Bjorg of the Steppe Viking Augurs, to foil hunters of this land, should we lean wolves not band together. So this is Iltabar of the Lactans. You are part of the Human Confederation, or are you a tributary? Member of the Human Confederation. So I think this is you inviting me to join that. Yeah, join the Human Confederation. Accepted. My ward Bjorg has come of age, and it's time that she left my care. Despite always seeming to seek authority and order, Bjorg has not become as proficient as expected in the administration of lands and people. You would be impressed by her understanding the subject, but she has at least developed a sound grasp of the basics of management from the beginnings of sensible fragility. So that's level 2. Yeah. It's more than I had. The Cuman Confederation, with Iltabar, Aslub, Lactans, and the warriors of Tobal Ishim surrounding us, we mingle blood and promise confederation. We'll be many, brother, watching over these lands, cries Aslub, gripping me close. Fighting as wolves of the same pack, no one better, no hungrier than any other. And so I have joined the Cuman Confederation. My promises belong to every one of the whelpish wolves. After a few years, Confederates may leave the Confederation and migrate away. County fertility is increased by plus 30. Gain Confederation grazing for 5 years. Fertility consumption minus 25. This is amazing. Yeah, my fertility minimum is now 29. And it's now at 48. Look at the herd difference. That's gone up from, what, 12 or something? Oh, hello. Oh, we are in so much of a better place. And we can have up to almost 14,000 herd. I have a lot of things I can do here too. You definitely want to be a shield maiden. And you're already married. Oh no, you're betrothed. He's only 14 still. Okay. I get it. I'm loving her hat. That is an impressive hat. I'm liking the combination of Norse and steppe clothing. It's kind of interesting. We're going to have some interesting blends appearing here, I suspect. So then if I migrate, just out of interest, you must be able to attack all rulers who hold lands. Oh, so I can't actually migrate within this territory even if I just give them resources. Oh. Okay. Well, we'll see how that works later. I mean, actually, in that case, we'll just leave the Confederation and then we can just move anywhere, I suspect. Council position. Okay, interesting. So at the moment, the main job that we're doing is supporting the herders. Which is very much a diplomatic job. However, your obedience leaves a lot to be desired. Aslaug is almost obedient. Now she is. Let's get rid of those. You are very nearly obedient. You're the main one who isn't. I'm actually going to sway you first to make you obedient, because then we don't have the two who are disobedient, which is where high chaos rather than low chaos. And then the other change from being in the confederations, I can no longer do this. But I have less than 10,000 herd anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. Itavar Tugor is holding a hunt. I do like my hunting, and if he's paying for it, cool. I do need a caravan master for this. Let's go with you. Oh, I have minus 50 danger from step. Most of these are from control. So I think I'm actually okay with that. I'm going to customize this route slightly though, because on the way back I want to go via this and this. So I think I will get the very cheap Forest Guide. I can't wait. Off we go. Falconry practice. I gaze out on the horizon before me, the dawn sun ushering in a full day of promise. My master of the hunt, Yeransulu, sides up to me with a raptor in hand and a twinkle in his eye. I know you've a hunt to get to, but what a clear morning. With hunger in your bird's belly and dew chilling on the ground, prey will be ripe for the taking. My raptor's claws would be better honed for sport to come. Practice falconry, we delay for 10 days. I am totally okay with that. Absolutely. And your job is to make me money again. See that you do not fail me again. Sibir's fighting someone. Betrothal to the proposed betrothal. Will be born into my family. Oh, that's your daughter. So in 4 years she'll be 28. She is also true. She's also a giant. Oh, and this is the boss of the Confederation. Yes, absolutely. I accept. Bind ourselves a little more closely to him. Joy of the hunt. As I travel through the steppe of the Ushkith Kimex, I come across a group of hunters. They allow me to follow along for a hunt for a little while, pointing out some of the specifics in their technique and some tracking clues unique to this area. Reduces the cost of establishing a prolific hunter's tradition by 1,000 prestige. But I'm not going to be able to do that. I mean, that's really cool. For how long? Forever? Oh, wait. Hang on. Hang on. So why can you reform this? And then you have the different cultures here, so you can actually add extra cultures. Although they are not cheap. I think that's really interesting, so we'll take the hunting culture possibility. A stolen keepsake. In the quiet of our camp near Bayan Udska, a shrieking uproar breaks the calm. My son-in-law Yaroslav confronts my personal physician Kardas accusingly, holding a treasured ring. You thief! This was my mother's! You lying bastard! It always belongs to me. So this is between Kardas, who I am trying not to have hate me, and Yaroslav Cooler. They become rivals. There's no downside for me. So, have at it. Blades for hire. I've heard tell of the military exploits of the legendary kickback mercenaries, and passing through Edrei, I'm fortuitous enough to come across a highly skilled mercenary commander. Ooh, yeah, he is. $15 ducats, that's worth it. A quarrelsome lot. As we trek through Edrei, our caravan is stopped at a clearing bordered by leafy bushes. I proceed towards the commotion, only to find Kardas and Izze having an irate row. Are you two again? Bang your heads down. Khazar, the wolf boy. Ah, we've had some luck with wolf boys. As we travel through the wildlands of Doggerland, I find myself with a distinct feeling of being watched. Hiding, though poorly, I see a frail, dirty boy watching our entourage. I'll train him. Although I'm not very good at training, but I'll try. He's also an imbecile. Yeah, that's fine. Making camp. As we await the arrival of the rest of the guests, Itzabar Tugor has started the preparations. His masters of chase are figuring out which area the participants will gather all the animals for the Great Nurge. Knowing the land is the first step towards success. My horse is as excited about the prospects of the hunt as I am, and knows great challenges are awaiting us for the next couple of days. I have unlocked the Inherited Tactics Dynasty Legacy. Ah, you went for the military one. That's this. I'm actually okay with that. Men-at-Arms counter efficiency plus 15% and most importantly advantage plus 5. Sure. Warfare has been a pretty big part of our rise to power. Although more recently I would say customs probably because of how we've been shaping the culture. First Mordvinian and then more recently Steppe Norse. After a long wait, we finally all line up. After a bit of back and forth, finally, Itzabar Tugor lifts his bow up to kill the first animal. A pained scream is followed by panicked bleating as the animal goes wild. My eagle, Zephyr, has flown past our hunting party searching for prey. He returns to my arm to perch, bearing the pelt of a stag. A stag! His offering could guide our hunt, or perhaps could result in a lucky find. 58% Nurge outcome becomes significantly more successful, or there's a chance of stress. And a 75% chance of gaining Cunning Eagle. Guide us! Aww. Still, I'd love to see an eagle carrying a stag. That's one hell of a bird. I've always enjoyed this part of the steppe, Ituk observes as we march together. My father used to bring us here to hunt. Know how to deal with these? I don't even need to risk it. I'm good enough at hunting. The rush of the hunt has died down, and many hunters return to camp to discuss their plans, while the rest observe the boars from the distance. We must be gruesome, ruthless as we are to our foes. High chance of being wounded, because my prowess kind of sucks. Split into group and coordinate. Plan is successful. Look! Itzabar Otok points to the group of wild lambs hidden on the path to the left. Let's hunt them down! My belly rumbles in anticipation. Your next feast will be free. Or we gain herd. Both of them are winners. Too old to really care about prowess at this point. As we finally finish up the Nurge, we look at all of the slaughtered animals we have managed to hunt. It's quite the sight as we start sifting through and butcher the animals before they spoil. This meat will last us the rest of the season. So we did actually hit level 1 success. We gain a little prestige. That'll do, Pat. That'll do. and thus we start heading home. But this seems like a pretty good spot to end this stream, so thank you everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again in the future, which, don't panic, will be relatively soon. In 1 hour 45 minutes I'll start again at 6 PM this evening, where we shall continue this where we left off. If you've really enjoyed this and you would like to support the channel, then please do consider subscribing. Helps the channel out, lets me do more of this kind of content. Or if you're on YouTube, also subscribe, ring the bell and all of that stuff. And in fact, if you're watching on YouTube, you can also find us at twitch.tv/MordredViking. If you're watching on Twitch, you can find us at youtube.com/MordredViking. My throat's starting to hurt. Something dust in my throat. Anyway, see you in 1 hour 45 minutes. Bye! It's okay. I'm not dying. I'm fine. See you soon.